All right. Here is our first roll of the game. A blind society check. Who's watching musicals? Sorry. I got a button there for you to click. I'm gonna have so many buttons. It's gonna be nuts. Don't worry, I'll let you down later. Joe, you want to make this? Do you want to make this check? That's what that noise was. All right, I got it. Rendering responses. You have been traveling for some days now with your patron, Dr. Edward Riddleson, who is with you in a carriage headed to the River Kingdom's city of Seven Arches. Now let's make a token for him. Oop. What do we know about Seven Arches? Well, Kirrik, Lycaena, the only thing that you really know about it, other than it has this strict ban against elves, the river kingdom of Seven Arches is has very little reputation. Khali Teriani, you know that this long ago used to be an elven settlement. And it is believed that they built the stone arches that gave the region and its eponymous capital city its name. But Seven Arches is now currently overseen by the Oak Stewards, which is a druidic order who prohibit elves from entering the kingdom at all, let alone the city. And it has something to do with this curse that you've heard referred to as the Omnibulate Curse, which is a mysterious affliction that kills any elf who dares go near the Kingdom of Seven Arches. Well, rumor is since the missing moment, the curse has been lifted. That is why Dr. Edward Riddleson non-zero. The there's the two of you that have the two of you that have elven heritage aren't full-blooded elves, so you know if you're going to dip your toe in the water. And you are, mere. You enter the border gate to Seven Arches, where this bustling, trade outpost has been established. That's several miles away from Seven Arches itself. Dr. Riddleson is here in this. You are in this very ornate Ustalavian styled carriage that you've been traveling in for the past several days. And when the carriage door is thrown open, you all pile out and reassess yourselves after long days of riding. Dr. Riddleson gets out and looks out over the assembled marketplace area and pulls out a black handkerchief and, mops his really gross forehead. If we make sure we've got a good, we're staring at this guy's face. He looks safe. Well, so, to discuss this, Dr. Riddleson, as well as the rest of you, have been through the gates. He is himself also a branded Gatewalker with the symbol on his neck and everything. And these, this horrible, purple vein and, bloodshot eyes are an effect of his manifestations of these deviant abilities that you all yourselves have as well. He is so far either not produced or not communicated that he's been able to do anything with them, but that also tracks with some of the other Gatewalkers that you've met with in your past. Is not everybody has a deviant ability that is useful. Sometimes the deviant ability is they have too many teeth. You did. You've been in communication with each other for at least the past month or two. Some of you may have joined this organization later. Arguably, you were sent on a training mission to test your deviant abilities, and Dr. Riddleson expressed some concern that no one particularly tapped into them during the exercise. But coming to understand the truth of what happens takes priority over, particularly your personal investment in what these deviant abilities mean for you. So, yes, he did express disappointment that you weren't able to really tap into those, and the theory was that maybe putting you in potentially dangerous situations might be what the trigger was, but it didn't seem to take. Right, yeah. Yeah. And it may be that you in character don't actually know what they are, or have never activated them before. Like yours, Teriani is very explicitly a passive one that gets used as a reaction. So, it may not be that it hasn't been triggered in your whole life. Dr. Riddleson mops his brow. Fear this is as far as I accompany you. I've matters to attend to farther east. He gives you guys a pretty fond smile. I've no doubt that you can handle this investigation yourselves. Of all my field researchers, you show the greatest promise for uncovering the secrets of the hidden world. I need not remind you of the importance of your mission. And he points at the mysterious rune that's on his neck as well as the rest of yours. 3 months ago, we embarked upon this mystery. All across the world, elven teleportation gates, the Aiudara, burst with light and lured people like us with visions of our greatest desires. So, we so-called Gatewalkers returned from the sojourn, some like you, bearing fascinating new abilities. We all, however, remain ignorant of what befell us on the other side of the doorway, how we came to be marked with this unknown sign, or what may have happened to those who did not return. In every university and seminary, scholars are ransacking their libraries to understand this so-called missing moment. Yet I believe that you will succeed where we've all failed. For our quest in the paranormal is not merely academic, but personal. I've given you my most promising lead to that end. 7 Arches. For centuries, any elf who approached the city's infamous 7 Arches has been subject to the terrible curse. Yet on the night of the missing moment, the curse was somehow lifted. We need to know why. The city's famed Aiudara no doubt holds some of the answers we seek, and moreover, this represents a prime research opportunity to study the portals in person. That's where you come in. I've arranged for you to meet with an old associate of mine, Fianara Calestri. She claims to have crucial information about the arches. She should be... there she is across the plaza. And you see, he points out this elven woman who is wearing quality adventuring gear and has a backpack that is comically overflowing with scrolls and research materials and such, who waves and begins approaching in your direction. And she'll probably be here in a minute or so. If you guys want to have any personal conversation with the doctor before she arrives. The elf, the lifting of the what a hard word to say, obnubulate curse, and the proximity to the gates is no doubt more than a coincidence. And as you should be well aware, it is our most promising lead. So I've gotten you the most capable and confident of our EPOPs to take on the research. Correct. Yes, the city of Seven Arches was built around the stone circles. You happen to, out of character, know all about the Aiudara, don't you? For those of you who don't know, Riddleson will say, or need a reminder, the Aiudara are an ancient network of magical portals, commonly referred to as elf gates. They always take the form of stone arches and are activated by specific magic keys that open a portal to a linked gate somewhere else on the plane. Most of them have been lost. Only a few Aiudara are known to be functional. The fact that they activated worldwide on the night of the missing moment is incredibly strange. If they're connected, if the assumption is that everything reported to be connected to the network, even if the link had been broken, still activated on the night. Fianara. Blood elf. She's on the horde. Right. Well, and you're just at the gate crossing here, so moving farther in isn't going to be a problem. But she might have more specifics about that. I've opened her art in the art gallery. If anybody wants to confirm that she's become visible now. They do have weird sclera. She waves you guys over and gives a big welcoming smile and says, "Hey Eddie, what's going on? It's good to see ya." The doctor he scowls, but his face becomes a little flushed, and it seems like that disarmed him a little bit. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm the cool, angry doctor. She comes over and shakes his hand as well as all the rest of you and introduces herself. Hi, I'm Fianara. Doc Eddie's sent me a letter saying that I should be expecting some of his disciples, and glad to do some networking. Right? That's good friends make good companies. Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Riddleson seems a little awkward and embarrassed around her and says, Fianara, just whatever you need, my EPOPs are here to help, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. I'll be moving on to Uringen, farther east in the River Kingdoms. Hopefully, I have a promising lead there as well, but I think it might be a red herring. So it's something that I can look into personally. There's a village famous for disappearing and reappearing randomly, but it's been doing that for decades. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the disappearances with the missing moment or not, so could be related. Once your investigations are concluded, if you find a secure way to get a message to me, that would be grand. But meet back in Lepidstad in my manor house. If you find any information that you need to pass on to me but aren't confident that it could be unintercepted, hold it until we can speak in person again. We don't want anyone to steal the thunder of our discoveries, correct? Riddleson is a human. You want to sense a motive? Yeah. Sorry, I just realized why I couldn't hear any of the audio, and it's because when I installed the driver, it changed it to my monitors, which don't have speakers. No, you don't win. You're like, Riddleson's being weird, but he's always been extremely eccentric and weird, so seems
you're not the most perceptive of people.
True. You scrutinize Riddleson. We just got here, and he started getting extra awkward when this elf lady showed up, who seemed, warm, but yeah, Riddleson kind of
actually also want to know why he's scowling all the time. I will sense motive this. I'm also not the most perceptive of people, but the bar is Kirrik, so.
Ooh, sense motive perception check. Teriani. He might. Riddleson is reacting as if he might have something of a thing for Fianara, but is so awkward about it that he wants to get out of there. Like, when she first approached, that kind of like looking scowl and stern was to hide a blush.
Aww. We'll avoid calling him cute.
This about to become we play matchmaker. Is
Yeah,
that where this
that's
is
the
gonna
game.
go?
Is who all can we? You're really just hooking up Professor X.
That's the whole campaign. He wants to have this giant scientific discovery to impress the girl.
Fuck, cat. Get out of here.
Yeah, so he will get back on the wagon and be removed from the campaign.
On the campaign?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
you guys wave him goodbye.
Nuked.
Fianara, it gives him a wave and a last minute hug, and turns to the rest of you and says, "So, hey, yeah, I've been researching the history of the Aiudara here for a while for the Pathfinder Society. Doc Eddie is he's a bit of a crack case here, but he's once he started researching, he was a brilliant theorist. So what I told him is that I have some information that I think you'll find useful, but if you want it, I need some help with my research first. Like I said, networking." She points across the bridge toward Seven Arches, the actual main part of town, which is several miles north. She says, "The Oak Stewards aren't particularly keen on letting elves into Seven Arches still. To be honest, I'm not especially keen to test the rumor about the curse lifting myself. And there's been an uptick in attacks from Gorgas, these monstrous shadow-eyed fey creatures, if you're unfamiliar. What can I say? I'm a reader and not an adventurer. So what I need is Seven Arches."
What's the bow for?
Hmm?
So then what's the bow for?
Well, you got to defend yourself.
Okay.
Now not be infringed.
Seven Arches is supposedly named for the cluster of seven aiudara in the middle of the city. I've been going through old records, and I have reason to believe that those arches are a fake. They're decoys to draw attention from the real arches. But I need some proof if I'm gonna report this back to the society. So
Well, if they're fake, they wouldn't activate at all, right? Wouldn't their lack of activation when all the other gates activated be proof enough?
Well, I don't have access to any witnesses who went through the gates.
Okay, but
Okay,
like
so
they're
did
a public area,
these
right?
gates? I hate to go into ask this, but did these gates activate during the event?
I don't know. From what you've told me, from what Dr. Riddleson has told me, that all gates everywhere opened. But I'm barred from entering the city, so I haven't been able to conduct, particularly thorough investigations. But I do have a tool, and from her bag, she pulls out this foot-long glass tube with a bunch of a cluster of bulbs on one end, sort of like a mace or a morning star, except made of glass and bulbous. She says, "I've keyed this aura recorder specifically to known Aiudara. If you pass it through the Aiudara, active or not, it will record the gate's magical signatures. So what I would like you to do is to go to the town center and read the aura of one of the gates. If I'm right, this will prove that the aura is all... If I'm right, this will prove that the gates are wrong, that they're fakes."
Ooh, fancy.
Okay.
And
if you're wrong,
Well, then they'll work.
well, if I'm wrong, I can either way I win. Reporting the truth is what I'm after. So, I have secondary sources that claim that the gates are fake, and I just want to get to the primary source,
the gates themselves.
the gates themselves. And I figure you folks, being slightly less elven inclined, might have better chance getting into town. Oh, and then I have here, and she produces several packs of makeup and supplies if you wanted to make disguises. So let me
I might need a hand on that one.
let me drag this here.
Do us non-elves have any reason to be disguised? Or is it just for the elves?
It's just, well, so entrance into Seven Arches is somewhat more scrutinized than here. So this is about as close as we're allowed to come because they do like trade.
Where
And-
is create a disguise?
The Oak Stewards don't take kindly to troublemakers, but how you want to investigate the gates is up to you. Like, you're the experts here. The arches are a popular attraction, and non-residents are kept at a safe distance by some sort of alarm barriers as well as Oak Steward guards.
How close do we need to get a reading?
I need
How
you to...
fragile is the reading stick?
Well, I mean, treat it like a scientific instrument if you can. But in order to record, you need to pass it through one of the gates. It doesn't matter which one. It just needs to pass from one end to the other.
Huh.
You know, if we hit third level before we do this might be a bit easier.
Let's just go do
Ah,
some
we'll be
push-ups real
alright.
quick.
Boars in the forest, let's go.
You should be able to. I'm gonna be here for as long as you need. I'm not sure how much funding Edelson gave you to apply to provisions and things, but I'll be here as long as you need to do your research. If you'll take a look in your Gatewalkers party stash, there's all the leftover money from the tutorial fight, which was intended to be your stipend for this journey.
I see. The doctor's just cheaping us out. Oh, we got this mission for you. Go ahead and do that. You can keep whatever you find. It's fine, guys.
I also have shinies from that, so
At universities, I understand how
we
grant
might
funding works,
need to
it's
sell
fine.
the shinies.
yeah, I was thinking I don't remember how to open the party stash, otherwise I don't
P.
put them back
P.
in.
P for party.
Stash. Okay, hold on.
Okay, I cannot find create disguise or any kind of disguise thing.
Impersonate?
I don't actually have a gold piece value on this polished shield. It says it's worth more, but there's no value listed.
That's because it. I had it mystified. Let's fix that. Where is it? I don't even see it in your inventory.
It's in the party stash now.
Yeah.
I don't have that many.
Finally crafted short sword is also mystified.
The polished shield, let's unmystify it.
5 gold. Woo!
Finally crafted short sword, let's unmystify it.
Hey, were there 2
Wow.
+1 short swords to grab?
One of them was not magical.
One of them was
It's
just
just
fancy.
it's just good.
Well, I mean, the reason why is because it has an emerald in the pommel.
Wow.
Like the emerald that we now have in our treasure.
So, welcome to
Wow.
welcome to the game. Let's do gear processing.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. So we have what? 7 gold.
Well, maybe I'm the only person who feels this way, but 7 gold is better than 0 gold.
Yeah. Well, we have 7 gold, and then we have 25 gold in treasure.
I mean, I think we're fine in terms of like 7 gold should get us at least a meal, right?
If you're
Oh.
worried about food, I will go gather some.
Also, 7
I'm
gold
not
can get
worried
us
about food.
plenty of meals.
Do you want me to
We should be able to get a
liquidate?
decent room and.
Do you want me to
some food for that
liquidate this
sort of thing.
shield, sword and shield?
Yeah.
And probably the
I mean,
gems
I-
too, as
Well,
much
what's
as
the
Khali said.
shield?
It's just a normal steel shield that's fancy.
I've
Like
got
it's-
one. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
It's a normal steel shield that's pretty, I should say. Because normal and fancy are not necessarily.
Well,
they
I don't
play
worship Shaylin, so feel free.
Is it fancy enough to etch runes onto?
Everything's fancy. There's no such thing as masterwork anymore. I'm so sad.
Hmm.
As well as
Unless somebody else has a use for this +1 short sword.
At this point, I can't use martial weapons, so no.
the
Well, so how
capability-
does How
Like
does
moving the rune around.
my icon necessarily work? Because looking up on it, it doesn't necessarily have to be like the barrel blade isn't the barrel blade. It's just my icon. So is it any weapon I pick up can become the icon?
I think if you invest in it, sure. I mean, arguably it's something that's super duper plot related, but like also you're the one that gets to define how your divinity works.
Yeah,
So,
because I know like eventually there's a feat like way higher up where like anything I grab is my icon, like a blade of grass or whatever. But that's obviously like way later and also different. But because if I can use the +1 short sword, even if it's not two-handed, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, and like I'm okay with like it requiring the investment, and because yeah, you're just starting out on your journey. You don't know that you've necessarily found your destined icon.
I
It's
can
funny.
still drink people with it.
You put the short sword in the supplies, not the party. I'm actually going to move it into the party along with the disguise kit and the replacements and the aura recorder.
Well, my thought on the subject, for whatever it might be worth, is that if somebody can use the short sword, we should keep it so they can use it.
Conversely, how much does it take to move a rune over?
Oh, you just want to put it on your bastard sword?
Yeah, because it's not that much for a level one, +1 rune, right?
It's like 30 gold.
Well, the whole rune costs 30 gold, but moving it
It's,
should cost like
Like
what,
10%, I think.
gold. Maybe?
Yeah,
3 gold?
cool. I'll just do that.
Thanks for the
Let's go.
rune.
Goodbye,
pay-
+1 short sword. Hello, +1 bastard
I mean,
sword.
I don't have the crafting to do that, so we're probably gonna have to go pay someone to.
Khali has the
Oh.
crafting for that kind of thing. Don't you need magical crafting
does
first?
Khali have magical crafting?
Well, isn't that what the payment part is? Paying some motherfucker to do it?
Yeah, because I think
believe
crafting
so.
it yourself is like half the cost.
Right.
And
Yeah,
2
because
days.
crafting doesn't get you fucking anything for free.
It does over a very long period of time.
Yeah, like let's just stop adventuring so I can make this fucking +1
All
rune.
right. Well, you are in a bustling cavernacery, so you have the opportunity to do that. I'm going to delete the sword. You can knock off 3.5 gold and give yourself a +1 weapon because you're the fighter. Anybody have like equity problems? Sounds like
No,
nobody
I
has
think
equity
that
problems.
Makes sense.
Can I get
I'm
thieves' tools?
pretty
since I'm
sure-
the only one who could use them.
He's the only one who can use it, yeah.
Yeah, buy some thieves' tools.
So unless somebody has like a...
I like the aura recorder. There's absolutely no information about it.
It's a key item.
It does stuff. Yeah, it is a key item. I got too many windows open.
Right.
I mean, it does allow effectively earning income at your own level, which is not necessarily a common opportunity.
Weapon
I was-
potency.
This
and
is
new
th-
crafting rules require only 2 days or 1 day if you have the formula.
this is a bigger buff to me than you guys know because this also increases my effective HP.
Oh no.
Why does it increase your effective HP?
I can drink people if I hit them. This
Oh,
helps
great.
me hit and it helps me crit, which increases the number I drink for.
He's got such a big thirst.
Big thirst, thirsty boy. So thirsty, I turn people into Capri Suns.
I need to run to the bathroom really quick.
All right. So, as I understand it, we have to get into Seven Arches, correct?
Correct.
And then we have to do what?
So we need to get into Seven Arches, which is kind of a task, I guess. And then we also need to get to the Seven Arches that it's named after and test them. That's what the Aura Recorder does. So we need to pass the Aura Recorder through presumably one of the arches and see if it's real or not. Because her theory is that those arches are not real aiudara. They are fake aiudara.
Yeah, Fianara gives you a location. She is just staying at a nondescript hovel of an inn on the Pathfinder Society's dime. And we'll be there, for the next several weeks. So if you ever need to reach out to her or follow up or report back a success or failure, she is available.
Hopefully this doesn't take several weeks, is all I can really say on that.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, I'm back.
So our job is to essentially get a scan of these things.
Basically,
She is going to compensate you in some information that Edelson is interested in.
Seems like a fair enough trade to me.
Interdepartmental collaboration.
Yes, seriously.
I told you this was an
I
academic
didn't
game.
know how much this was going to feel like my actual job.
Yeah, I
All
told
right,
you it's like
so-
play intelligence-based characters who are interested in solving mysteries for the sake of it.
edgelord.
Yep. Real intelligence-based character over there.
Hey,
So,
emotional intelligence is also an intelligence, but I'm lacking that too.
Yeah.
I don't know how to process my anger, so I'm going to take it out on everybody else.
Alright, so first step is get into the city.
Right. So first step is getting
Mm.
into the city.
Would they consider Nephilim would they consider Nephilim Elvid? Like an elf?
Where does the elven band come from? I think is the real question. Is it just because elves were fucking dying and they're like, nope, stop, everybody stop, this isn't worth it?
We don't
Or is
want
there-
this to be our problem.
Or is there something deeper behind it?
Let's do some gather information.
I mean, it's not
okay.
like
Weirdly enough,
Well, it
despite
used to be
having
an
like a
elf-owned
religious prohibition
city.
against talking, Lycaena is really looks like she might be the best person in the party at gather information.
You know who's not? Me.
Which I think is funny.
Well, why is gathering information charisma? Why can't I recall knowledge with history?
Oh, you're right.
Gather information.
Oh, no, right.
I think a history recall knowledge. Well, no, we already did a society one.
Yeah.
Let me roll back. You did relatively well at that. You would know that yes, Seven Arches has been long plagued by this omnibulate curse. It is the ban is in place because for two reasons. One is they are afraid of some unforeseeable catastrophe if, elves enter the kingdom. The secondary reason is they share a border with Keonan, and it's just easier for international politics.
Yeah.
But it's not really
Elves are banned for their protection, is and that's confirmed, Lycaena, if you ask around the border crossing here, why can't elves come in? It's like, because if elves go in, they die. Like, it's not a political ban. It's a don't go to Mordor. The air is poison.
So I think about the political reasons behind it because I'm considering the history of it. Lycaena sees the practical reason of, yeah, they fucking die.
So you potentially needing to disguise your pieces of elven lineage. A is going to be much easier because you're not full-blooded elves, and B.
Oh yeah, like I'm pretty sure that Lycaena normally keeps her hair over her ears.
Well,
So-
I mean, it's not like I think the elf eyes are the part that's difficult to hide.
Yeah, but isn't it pretty canonical in Pathfinder that it's just full-blooded elves that have the wacky elf eyes?
I don't know where I fall on that.
I don't know either. I mean, you may your elven qualities might be overshadowed by your tiefling qualities.
Yeah, what are your tiefling qualities? Do you have a tail?
Let's talk about our characters.
Does Teriani have a
Shit,
tail?
am I first?
Well, you're the one who brought it up.
I haven't really considered like the more tiefling aspects of my character because I haven't considered like I was loosely considering Azada as the as like the origin of the outsider blood.
Well, I don't know what Azadas look like. What do Azadas look like?
They're kind of animal people.
Okay, so do you have a tail?
No.
We come back once more to the tail
Is
question.
it like
Do you have a tail?
is it like a bobtail little thing? Or?
No, I mean I was kind
It's
of
fine if you don't have a tail. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not judging.
Khali wants
Oh,
a
what the
tail,
fuck is going on with my hands? Jesus Christ.
You have the perfect amount of fingers. Definitely not 6 on one.
though.
1, 2, 3 on that hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So there's a question. Maybe you have the wrong number of fingers.
Oh
on each
yeah,
hand.
it's like you're a cat and you've got your polydactyl.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
call.
polydactyl?
I mean, I thought polydactyl was 2 thumbs.
No, that's pterodactyl.
Oh, that's
I
put.
I thought pterodactyl was like a flying dinosaur. Yeah, we're always like this. Can you imagine?
The knuckles look weird too, and I don't really know why.
Okay, so the question
Yeah,
is
to
this,
describe
is
his
this
character,
picture...
and he's never really taken a look at his character, and now he's really weirded out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not troubling.
Well,
so,
I
Joe,
mean,
is the picture
I-
canon?
No,
The cat
but
the cat on Kirrik became canon, so like maybe you're
So, like,
polydactyl.
maybe you have
okay,
too
6
many
fingers on one hand, sure.
like and 3 fingers on the other hand. Like that's a thing that could happen.
Those are just hidden.
Like,
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having 6 fingers on both hands. 6 fingers on one hand brings too much Princess Bride feelings.
No. Have fun storming the castle.
No, I'd say just like, I mean, I want to say an elf that looks kind of alien, but elves always look kind of alien. So I never really considered it. Hold on.
Random question. As a cat, would I have digigrade legs or plantigrade legs?
which ones do you want?
I think that's explicit in the Catfolk entry, but I'm not sure.
What's the difference between Digimon legs and Pokemon legs?
Digimon legs are like Khajiit in Morrowind, and Pokemon legs are like Khajiit in Oblivion.
So, plantigrade is a foot walker, digigrade is a toe walker. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Basically, do you have knees that face forward or backwards?
I just keep hearing Digimon and Pokemon.
Yeah, it's Digimon are from Morrowind, and Pokemon are from Oblivion.
I thought
You know
women
what's
were
really
from Mars,
funny
men were from
is
Venus. Or was that the other way around?
Azada specifically look elf-like.
Oh, good. No, I'm Azada.
Yeah. So
Well-
I think I could either try to lean into that with my fantastic deception score, or I would probably just have to disguise myself the same way like a full-blooded elf would.
You have access to these disguise kits. It would call for impersonate actions.
Man, is that another? That sounds like another diplomacy check.
It is your deception. It is their
It's actually deception.
So passively, it's them having to use a seek action against your deception DC. If you're directly interacting with someone, it is your deception versus their perception DC.
Okay, so I'm just going to like hang back, and somebody else is going to do the talking. But I will put like I'll put on glasses. I'll have ears. I'll keep my hands in my pockets so no one counts the fingers.
Somebody click that and see if it does a secret for me.
Oh, I clicked on my own button.
Perfect.
Impersonator deception.
That impersonate button, the one that I just prompted there. Yeah, I was making sure that it was actually going to be secret. And look at these great rolls.
Yeah, it's secret. Huh?
I said, look at these great rolls, you two.
Well, I mean... Yeah, I didn't say she was going to be good at it.
But welcome to Adventure Path. Please solve your own problems. I can give you any more information that you feel like you want to get into Seven Arches.
Well, you didn't actually answer my question, Adam.
Ooh, what was your question?
My question was...
Also, what about everyone else's character?
Why
Why was I thrown at?
I'm trying to figure out if we want to get in the city, like, are we going to get arrested? Like, what exactly are we dealing with? Or are we dealing with the kind of thing where, like, technically dogs without enough shots aren't allowed through the Canadian border crossing, but nobody really gives a shit? Like, what exactly are we, like...
So...
I don't understand what level of...
How crime is this?
Right, exactly.
Elves who try to enter Seven Arches are politely but firmly asked to leave. It is not a crime to attempt to get into the city, since it's there for their safety. It's not like you're arrested and they bring you into town and put you in a jail. That would defeat the purpose. Historically, elves have not tried to break in, so there really isn't nobody really knows what the consequences would be. Clearly, if you are walking around in town, you're not an elf, otherwise you would be dead.
Solid
Okay.
line. This place kills elves, thus you must not be an elf.
Then I would suggest we just go in and wait till a guard yells at us.
Yeah, I mean...
Are there guards at every gate, or is it... How secure does it appear?
Yeah, so leaving this little area where you're at the border crossing is where you would be contested. You're at a border crossing. It's not that, like, you don't expect that you would be accosted to get into the city itself. But leaving this place would be. That's, Fianaro was here. Elves are welcome in this space because it is the border. There's a checkpoint that you'll have to pass to leave here to get to the city.
Is that checkpoint we can go around, or is it a checkpoint that...
It wouldn't be impossible to sneak through. It would be potentially like trying to make sure that you are leaving and then crossing through like unwatched territory. The asking around if that's a reasonable or a good idea, you get responses that, hey, the Oak Stewards have been keeping this area safe for a very long time. They probably have methods of security that you're not aware of, like, the birds in the trees and the critters on the ground could potentially, be spying on you. But at some point, it seems like there's going to be a gamble you'll have to take. Whether that's walking through the front gate with disguises on, or bluffing your way past. Like, hypothetically, you could go in and be like, yeah, let us in. I don't care if I die. And that worked.
Well, I put it to the group. What do folks want to do?
Y'all are the elves. Like,
I mean...
I could probably just walk in and be like, I got business. But
Honestly, same.
I'm not strictly banned, so... Whatever you elves want to do.
The Player's Guide recommends you play elves.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It does tell you that playing an elf in the beginning is a little tough. Let's see here. Character suggestions. Elves and half-elves have long been banned from entering Seven Arches, so characters of either ancestry will need to disguise themselves as long as they're in that nation.
I disguise myself.
Yeah, I guess
put
I'll
effort on
disguise
it.
myself.
I put some sunglasses on.
Yeah, you've got the supplies. Let's put those. So you guys distribute the stash loot, and we'll go face this challenge head on.
Yeah, I guess I'm putting on sunglasses and tucking my hair over my ears.
So edgy.
I got a hood up.
You're a Warpriest. Do you have a helmet? Just put your helmet on.
She might.
She's too cute for that.
Black butterfly dictates you show your cute ears at all times.
No. Black butterfly just dictates you talk as little as possible.
The god of shutting the fuck up.
God of silence.
This is a little harder without me as a party member who's constantly taking everything out of the party inventory.
All right. Yeah, so I guess I have to roll a disguise check, huh?
We'll do that when we commit to it. So you guys put your disguises on. Use the disguise kit, which more or less allows you to do that. And you do have time to check and make sure that you're doing a relatively good idea, or like you can check each other and be like, this passes, this passes.
What is this region's opinion of my god, or opinion of Desna?
Des is popular worldwide. I think we kind of discussed off-site was that most like lay people are going to recognize you as a Desna, not as a black butterfly worshiper,
Which is fine.
and you're cool with that more or less.
Yeah,
Is
because
Black
it makes
Butterfly
life easier.
a face of Desna, or is it like some anti-Desna?
The story goes that when Desna made the stars, the space between the stars became the black butterfly.
Interesting.
Yeah, they had the
She
same.
is a very, very powerful ephemeral lord.
They have the same holy symbol.
Well, not quite.
Yeah, close enough for a layperson to be like, it's a butterfly lady.
Yeah. Desna, like the black butterfly and Desna are different, but they're not that different.
You can size up the guards at the border. They don't look like they are like big druid people. They appear to be mundane, like citizen workers. They seem to be waving most people through without issue. It doesn't look like they are scrutinizing people incredibly hard.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's you're the community at large is still at the point of like, why would anybody try to do this? It's literal doom. But it's been about half a year since arguably the curse lifted, so the rumor has gotten out there, and maybe people are trying to do it. Who knows?
I mean, I'll just keep my head down.
Right. Here, I'm gonna repost this, and the two of you please click.
But I'm just keeping my head down.
You gotta make a roll.
It's still deception. It's just, do you want to be impersonating or do you want to be keeping your head down? Like,
for whatever it's worth, Lycaena does make sure that her holy symbol is visible.
Okay.
And the theory that maybe they'll back off. They'll be more. The people are like really respectful with nuns. That kind of concept.
That very obviously works when you lean into your the fact that you are clergy or whatever your title would be as a Desnan. They barely even look at you, almost as if looking at you would like apply the scrutiny of a god's gaze, and you are waved through without incident.
I don't think I'm waved through without incident. That was a long pause.
There is a long pause. And they wave you through as well.
Oh, okay.
Kirrik and Khali, you are unaccosted too. Like, they just It seems clear that they are not concerned with what you are doing in Seven Arches, just that you are not going to die going in there and cause an international incident.
Yeah, especially if they border the fucking Keanan.
And you guys are allowed to take the 2 or so mile trip up the road into Seven Arches. Let's cue up that Seven Arches ambience. So there's some locations on here. No, most of them don't really matter. But you are free to explore the town.
I mean, I think while exploring a casual walk, I'm like waiting to just like drop dead at any moment.
You're definitely queasy, but you think that might be anxiety related? Teriani is
just intelligence. Now I have anxiety.
Teriani has an anxiety disorder.
Out of character, I wouldn't wish that on anyone else, but okay.
I mean, I guess the source of the curse would likely be the very same gates that we're going to inspect.
Right.
So
if the gates are going to kill us, the gates are going to kill us.
Yeah.
You can, without needing a check, if you ask where the Seven Arches is, you are directed to the center of town, to the Arch Plaza, or given directions. Which in order to get to it, it's just follow
the river,
follow the rivers.
All right. I will head. I guess we head in that direction, unless anybody has an objection.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there, like how much is there between like the public and the arches? Like, is there a fence up?
So let's talk about that. The structure of the city itself. It is clear that this is a human settlement built on elven ruins. Most of the buildings are covered in very thick patches of vines and ivy, and the architecture has been repurposed to like add on to the elven ruins in a way that doesn't disturb them at all. It's almost as if nothing old has been torn down, just built on top of or around in order to continue supporting and integrate with that. And those of you with any kind of like bonus training to archaeology or architecture or things like that, is that this elven settlement is definitely, you estimate, pre-Earthfall. There should be visible that kind of green border toward the inner city and the outer city. That is known as the Ivy Wall. This crumbling masonry wall covered in this strangling ivy. And as you approach and kind of rubberneck, some of the locals are quick to point out that you should keep your hands out of it and make sure that you're a few feet away from the wall at all times, else it might drag you in. The ivy
is that just like something they tell tourists, like, hey, yeah, careful?
Yeah, it may not be so much of a literal warning as much as it is a boast, but you get lots of reminders because you're clearly new in town that the ivy is more than appears. Maybe that's literal, maybe it's just something to keep you on your toes. You're not sure. But
I'm already tempting fate walking near the gates that are supposed to kill me.
Yep. But there are ways to pass through it in various locations, so it's not functionally a barrier. Unless approaching the Arch Plaza, it is built onto this island made in the delta between these two rivers splitting. It looks like the cross section might be something that is human-made or artificial, the southwestern section of the triangle, in order to bridge the two of them and create this island. It is clearly the oldest part of the settlement, but it's also become something of a center of like commerce and or it's been turned into a park. That whole center area is a place where there are lots of locals who are just congregating and enjoying. The plaza itself is surrounded by market stalls, businesses, shops, as well as the main civic building, which is the Justice House on the northeast there. Their courts and jails and government official offices are there. You will determine across the river, marked as the Vine Hall, is you are told, by tourists, by friendly tourists and things. The Oak Steward's Capitol building. There is a little bit of a back and forth if the administrative part of the government is in charge or the Oak Stewards themselves, the ancient Druidic order, is in charge. Most people think the Oak Stewards are really in charge, and the civilian government just kind of, does the bookkeeping and stuff. And that any one of the Oak Steward Order druids can override any official at the Justice House, if they so choose. What? Start over?
So we're on our way to the arches?
No, so you can come to the plaza and actually investigate the space. The arches are... there are 7 stone archways in a neat circle in the central town plaza. Each arch itself is about 20 feet tall and 10 feet wide, and they are glimmering with these multicolored lights that warp and weave the kind of threshold between each one of the arches. Surrounding it is this circle of small, like 10-foot tall oak trees, and there is a ornate, thick rope tied around the tree trunks that forms, just like a loose barricade. There is a gap at the south end of that barricade where 2 very tough-looking druid men, they've got the leaf cowls and wooden antler crowns with big, ready-to-be shillelagh staves, who more or less are guarding the entire plaza. One seems to always be at that gap post at any given time, and the other kind of wanders around keeping an eye on things. Occasionally they trade off. And there are lots of places to sit and watch and rest, as well as shops and inns and merchant wagons surrounding the square on all sides. It is very populous. There are a lot of people here. There is also a small stage on the southeast end of the plaza that doesn't look like it's in use. It looks like if any function were to happen, it is just always there for someone to get up on and address the assembled masses. And you can feel like there's obviously spots where you can chill and rest and stake the place out if you wanted to. And Kirrik drew the short straw.
That's my favorite kind of straw. So are we able to just do our thing, or is there...
There's clearly a barrier to kind of socially prevent anybody from getting into the arches themselves, as well as 2 Oak Steward guards who are patrolling the area. Something that you'll notice is if you're staking the place out or just kind of hanging around eventually, is that occasionally there's the loud sound of, you would identify as a squirrel barking. The cause of that sound is either like, a bird or perhaps a small child who kind of ducks under the rope. But when that threshold between the ropes is crossed, there is an alarm that triggers that sounds like, a barking squirrel, and I've got a cool button for that. Whenever it triggers, the druid guards whirl around to see what's going on. When it's creatures, they just kind of resume back to what they're doing. If it's people, they kindly but firmly, interject and make sure that they aren't causing trouble. It's not when the alarm goes off, they immediately draw weapons and start attacking. It's they investigate.
When you say they check to see if they're not causing trouble, do we see like a kid get past it and like they look at him and check the kid out and he's allowed to keep fucking with the arches?
No,
or...
they prevent anybody from entering that area. And it seems like they're doing it with the kind of respect, like, this is a monument, please do not touch. So you see a secondary problem of in doing your investigation is this place is watched by guards who don't want you in there. You said something, but you're muted.
Oh, I'm not muted. I hummed.
No, you're not Rachel either.
Oh, he was talking to me.
Shit.
He could get through the door.
If something inanimate is kicked through the thing, does it go off?
You want to try and test that?
I think somebody else should.
I mean, someone who's not an elf, you mean?
Yeah,
Somebody who's not now.
You continue to stake the place out. At this point, probably several hours have passed because you're collecting as much information as you can, and you bring that question up, but it's not something you've seen happen yet.
So, somebody? Volunteers?
Lean real close to the sides and just kick a rock over the side or the edge.
All right. I'm gonna give you button to hit.
We are trying to do this in a way that does not make it obvious that this is what we're testing.
Doing, please move.
Nice.
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 That's impressive in a bad way.
But we still get our answer, right?
You do. So you kick in, a small rock, and it doesn't set the alarm off. It is not done without notice, though, and nothing. It doesn't escalate into a situation where, they just kind of make sure they move in your direction.
All right, so.
Okay.
Okay.
That's actually probably a good thing overall.
Why is it a good thing overall?
One of the guards. So something you'll notice in response to this, Kirrik, and the rest of you, if you're maybe watching off-site to see how this shakes out, is that the kind of wandering through the plaza guard is the one that approaches you. The other one makes sure that they stay near the gap entrance on the south and keep an eye on things.
So did the alarm go off, though?
No, the alarm did not go off when you kicked in a small rock.
Okay, is there an angle in which we could get this reader thing through the gate without...
Well, I mean, we can go through the alarm without, through the area, not necessarily the gate.
All the rope barrier is 5 to 10 feet away from any given arch, so there's no way you can really angle it from the outside. I can give you guys a little more prompt on what's going on here with this map. You guys are hanging out over food carts.
Okay, and so there's probably a guard up here, and
Yeah,
then
so
a
there's
guard
there's
gonna kick the guy.
yeah, there's always a guard stationed here, and the other one just kind of wanders the plaza.
That's actually much closer than I thought. So,
I guess now that we're looking at this, you can have some guard art.
Oh wow, look at that guy.
He looks pretty
Human.
good.
That is quite the headset. Okay, cool. Well, I'd rather we not do violence to these guys. Like they're not.
I mean,
I mean, I definitely
Yeah.
don't think violence is necessarily in question, because I think violence against these guys is violence against a lot of the city.
Right, and I just don't think that we want to get in a giant fight here.
oh, I don't
Even
have
if a
mage
giant-
hand.
Do we know if
Does somebody else have mage hand?
is there a precedent for research on these things?
I was gonna ask, can we just go and ask them about the arches? The guy standing next to the opening?
Ask the guy that's wandering around. If you're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
ask
a good
somebody.
idea.
Lycaena has the best make an impression, so we went over that earlier.
um,
I think it's very funny that she does, given that she does not like to talk. But
That's why. She knows what to say.
so these gates are fundamentally devoted to travel, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm a Desnan. Sort of.
Sort of.
Well, she was.
I mean, I am really tempted just to like make a rake for it with warp step.
The problem is,
Then I get escorted out of the city, but we still got the research we were told to.
Well, so the one problem is
right,
don't.
but we also
assume-
need more than that. We want to figure out if these things active. So every gate, we're trying to figure out if the curse still exists.
Well, the curse doesn't exist. I'm not dead.
yeah, we know
But
the
you're
curse.
also not an
well,
elf.
yeah, that's true. But the biggest theory is that what's her name is confident that these rings are fake. That's what we're
Right,
here to
and
test.
that's one of the things we're here to test. But we're also here to figure out why the curse fell. Wait a minute, don't we associate with the university?
Well, that's why I asked what the precedent for research is on these, because if we can just walk up and be like, "Hey, we're here to do some research on the gates, blah blah blah, can we get in?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem." But if they're like, "No, nobody's ever been allowed to touch these. Everybody has to stay away," we don't want to be like, "Yeah, us here, we're here to research these gates." And they're like, "What are you talking about? We're not gonna let you near here. Fuck off." then any chance of being sneaky goes out the window, because they'll know exactly what we're here for.
Well, that's true. Okay, fine. So we need some context. Is there a university in this town?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Oh,
Is
sure.
there? We are associated with the university.
Through whatever Dr. Riddleson's connections are, but you directly, you don't think that is necessarily untrue, but you probably don't have any, like, authority to make that claim truly. But I wouldn't say it's a lie. Like, yes, you are doing work for Dr. Riddleson, and as you understand it, Dr. Riddleson has a relationship with Lepstat.
Okay. All right.
The work that you've done with him has primarily been in his manor house, which is some distance north of, like, Lepidstadt Urban Center.
So we need to know whether or not research has ever happened on these gates.
Or if it's at least something they're amicable to.
Right.
Something that something that might not necessarily be clear on this map, but may be clear to you weird stealth cat people, is assuming for the sake of argument that you did manage to sneak past the guards and get inside. You're not necessarily out in the open. These trees would provide ample cover for you to operate the little device through the gates.
I mean,
How stealthy is our cat?
and how much? Well, I mean, I think I have the stealth.
Who's the so? Because I mean,
My hide is +5 and it's gold. So,
okay, so you're the stealthy one.
but I mean, we don't actually necessarily need to like hide too much.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that, like,
'Cause there's-
the potential solutions that would be obvious to the characters get brought up, but, you know, encourage
Well-
players to have creative solutions.
I mean, I guess
I
the
would
question is,
love
we
to be able
either
to mage
ask.
hand the thing through and back.
Yeah, I mean, I have a ghostly hand I can use for that.
Oh,
Um,
fuck. That's problem solved.
Well, no, not really, because they're going to see the thing floating.
Okay, but what are they going to do about it?
I also
Like,
think it can only
you-
go a certain number of feet from my body.
And that's like, because these gates are only like 10 feet from the rope. So that's like you ghostly hand the thing through and back, like in.
How much bulk does this thing have?
Oh, that's actually a good thought.
That's a good thought. Considering nobody's put it in their inventory, it has light bulk.
Oh, yeah, you can
Okay.
absolutely carry that with a mage hand. Or with
Yeah,
a telekinetic hand
so-
or with a whatever.
An invisible arm extends from you to grab and manipulate objects. The arm reaches up to 15 feet, grabs unattended object of one bulk or left, and immediately deposits it in one of your free hands or at your feet. Alternatively, it reaches up to 15 feet and performs a simple interact action like pushing an open window, though it can't perform actions that require significant mechanical dexterity. It's basically mage hands.
Oh, yeah, you just grab, like, extend it with it out and then pull it
Wait a
back.
minute.
Would the barrier
Would that even
detect
set off the
magic?
barrier?
I don't see why it would.
I mean, unless, like, something magical going through it is a thing, too. But I can't test that without throwing an actual spell around.
Well, and this thing, this aura recorder is, even though it is light bulk, it is like the size
Big.
of like I don't want to say big, but it's the size of like a one-handed melee weapon. Like
So here's my thought, though, guys. What if...
it would be
We create
noticeable
some
if it were
kind of-
floating.
Right. So what if we create some kind of distraction? Like...
How
To
many
draw-
actions would, like, pulling it out and back in be?
Huh?
So flashback to Fianara, she said that it should take about like 30 seconds to get a good reading.
I thought
So...
she just said she had to pass through.
Well, yeah, but you know.
I feel lied to.
So I would propose...
When it lights up, you'll know it's done, you know.
Right.
Okay.
So here's my suggestion. What if we either wait till nightfall and try to do this completely stealthily, right, when it's dark and the guards presumably can't see as well? Or what if we try to distract them?
After you said distract them, it stopped broadcasting.
Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, weird.
Okay, so we try to distract them by drawing their attention to like one side of the gates, while on the other side of the gates somebody does the whole thing.
I mean, that was gonna be my backup plan, but
But I would be curious about the does anyone ever done research on this? Is that a gather information check?
Yeah, that's something that you could find out.
And just because it's never been done before, like, they could say, you know, hey, between this, and this, we're wondering if we can see if things happened here.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not saying that they'll say no to us. I'm just like I agree that having some sense of it would be helpful.
Yeah, because if they've made a blanket statement like, no, nobody will ever be allowed to touch these, it is summary execution. Obviously, we don't want to be open about it, right?
No, I agree with you. I think that's a good point.
It seems like they're a lot more like, no, please don't touch. But
You can't find. Yeah, you're having trouble finding any official response on that. You eventually come across, like a gnome adventurer who is like, he's like, oh, it's a secret. He beckons you in close because he's being all dramatic about telling it, and then he like raises his voice loudly. It's like, they got that barrier up for a reason. They'll turn you into a squirrel faster than you could say acorn. They don't want nobody messing with that dang thing.
Turn you into a squirrel? Huh.
This guy implies to you that the druids aren't going to go for that kind of thing because,
Okay. So, We get my familiar in there, and hopefully they disregard it as just a regular ass spider. And then, we kind of, lightly nudge the object through the other side and have my familiar carry it to the gate until it lights up or whatever.
Oh, doesn't somebody have Mage Hand?
I don't think anybody actually does.
No.
Or do you need me to use my Deviant ability? Because Lycaena's willing to.
I mean, that might be
Does it stretch your arm out, or is it like
no,
a
it's
ghost
invisible.
thing?
It's an invisible arm. It can do simple interact actions, which I assume would include carrying a thingy into a gate.
Look at the interact action to me.
It is ambiguous if it can push things away, but I'm inclined to say it can.
It says it can. It specifically says it can open a window.
Yeah, but that's not pushing things away. Like, the window's already there. I'm going to give it to you, but the
What do you mean pushing things away?
So it can do two things. It can bring an object to you. That's explicit. Or it can manipulate an object that's already out there.
Yeah, it can grab an unattended object, or it can reaches up to 15 feet and perform a simple interact action. Why couldn't it perform a simple interact action and then bring the object back to you?
No, it's going
Are you
to.
saying it's ambiguous as to whether or not it can go both ways?
Yeah, which is extremely facetious. No, I'm gonna let it work, but I'm like, man,
Are we really gonna have this rules as written argument? Because
it says it brings it to you.
fine.
Bring it to you.
So just and something to be aware of in mechanical sense. This will arguably require you to activate it twice, because one to get it there and one to bring it back.
Yeah, it will take at least 2 actions.
So which will potentially, bring upon your encroaching presence problems.
What's my
It's
encroaching
okay.
presence?
Half of us here have encroaching presence problems.
That's if you experience a backlash when trying to activate your deviant ability.
Right. How do I activate it again?
You just say you're doing it, and then you have to make a flat check before.
Okay.
I'm not sure where they write those things.
Yeah, it doesn't have a.
Oh, it's here. It's buried in the classifications.
Okay. DC 5 flat check. God, given how bad I am at flat checks, I'm not particularly promising about this.
Well, let's come up with a good action plan, and then we can commit.
So, what are you guys gonna do to distract these guards? Because I'm gonna be busy moving a thingy through a thingy.
I'll set off the alarm with the spider.
Spider alarm.
Man, where's our heist music? That's what we're doing here, is a heist. Suspense.
This is a reverse heist. Come on now.
Investigation.
We're trying to plant something there.
And that was the first part of one of the first parts of Ocean's 11. They had to get the wire shark in.
All right, I'll give it to you. But if I kind of do the spider thing on this side,
Okay.
and then you do the other thing on the other side.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to stay hidden behind the trees.
All right. Well, just in case somehow this catastrophically fails into a combat, just kind of put you guys where you think you want to be. We've definitely got one guy who hangs out at the front, and then we've got another guy who just kind of wanders around, and he can be anywhere when you want to do this maneuver.
Okay. Oh, is he wandering outside of the wall?
Yeah.
I thought he would be.
Yeah, he's wandering about the plaza. The guards themselves definitely do not cross the rope barrier. That is not something you see them do. And if they ever do enter, they do it through the gap in the south.
Weird.
I mean, that might just be to make sure you're not constantly setting off your alarm.
Yeah, I would basically always have Mystic Armor up.
Yeah,
don't know why it's
you
not
turn
on.
that on. Yeah, it's a new day. That's why.
Okay. I'll be back here.
Lycaena barges through.
Well, I didn't know how to move myself in a way that was.
Yeah, so if you're gonna do it from up there, it'd be
Well, I'm trying to stay out of the line of sight of the two guards and have a tree to
Yeah.
kind of mask myself with.
Well,
I mean, we can move the guard wherever we want him to because he's wandering, and we can time our shit.
Oh, all right. Well, then I'll be over here, I guess. But
Well, I mean, you want to be away from my spider.
oh, the spider's gonna be over there. Then I'll be over
spider. So the spider is going to trigger the alarm as a distraction.
Yeah.
And one of the guards. So this guard never really moves, right?
Yeah. Well, and they relieve each other occasionally. If you watch long enough, after periods of several hours, replacement guards will cycle in and cycle out.
Can we get any sense of when the cycle in out is?
No, it seems to be. I don't want to say irregular, but like, over the course of only watching for maybe 4 or 5 hours, like eventually, they just. You're very close to what looks to be the Druid headquarters. So
Okay.
And
They just appear to occasionally cycle in, cycle out.
yeah, and like if this that were to break into like a big combat and they call it for reinforcements, like they could be here within like maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
I
Let's
want you
not
guys
have
to
that
know that if they break into brig combat, I am going to warp step and just fucking flee.
Goodbye. Do you guys have a meetup point established?
Yeah, we should do that. Okay.
And also, there's a lot of civilians around here, so if a fight did break out, like, that is both potentially like cover for you to escape in, as well as like, things that as good guys maybe you should be concerned over.
Before we do this, Adam, is there a temple of Desna I'm sure there's not a temple of the Black Butterfly, but is there a temple of Desna around?
Not explicitly.
Okay. Is there an organization devoted to orphans who could use an anonymous donation?
Maybe.
Like, there's not an orphanage in town?
It might. So the Oak Stewards are the political power, and I'm not sure how they necessarily feel about like charity.
I mean, there has basically always been, poorhouses.
Yeah, there's definitely some it may not be well organized or government sanctioned, but yeah, they're definitely.
I want it to be well organized or government sanctioned.
You will definitely find if you put in some of the work to do so. Some place that yes, you can surreptitiously give alms.
Okay, so I'm getting rid of some of my gold, some of my silver, because before doing this, she would offer a prayer, and the way.
Should we maybe think about the fact that if they see us and recognize us, we're gonna have trouble in the future if we get caught?
I mean, 2 specific guards that are like this looks like kind of a ceremonial thing. So if we are seen and get caught, we just don't go near the ceremonial thing.
I'm donating 10 silver to the orphans.
Whole gold piece.
Yeah.
It's gonna feed a lot of kids.
Good.
All right. So, we ready to see how the shit's gonna play out?
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess so.
All right. Well, I guess I trigger it. So as long as Lycaena is ready.
Yeah, I think so. It's I'm gonna make sure I can activate it before I signal you to. Oh, do I have message? I think I do.
Oh, would be able to do that in the same turn. Like, you're gonna cast message and then.
No. Before we start this, I was gonna suggest we might want to.
Because I don't have message.
Well, I mean, and you can do hand signals and stuff, thumbs ups.
Yeah. Okay. So, I will attempt to activate my thingy.
And if not, I will come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You blew
That's
it.
unfortunate.
All right. What happens now?
I gotta give you some conditions.
Okay.
All right, so you have the encroaching presence effect as you're like, I'm gonna use this ghostly grasp I have, and you try and tap into this reserve, this wraith power that you gain from going through the gate, and just like you're like, I know that I have this power to manipulate objects from afar, and you feel just invisible hands all over your body tugging at you in different directions, like trying to like pull your hair and yank your shoulders back, and like they're like pulling down on, I guess you have a cloak, like trying to drag you onto the ground, and it is not a fun time, and you're frightened 3.
Damn.
It's okay. She'll get better.
Oh, man.
um let's see here.
Yeah. Lycaena will signal that we should not try to do this today.
Well, I mean, a failure resets it. So, like, you have as good odds to succeed in 5 minutes as you do.
Yeah,
in
we're not in a combat, so you're ready to do this.
in about 18 seconds.
I think what's going to be the problem is activating the hand is the same action that triggers the backlash, and that's going to be in response to the trigger. So your spider is going to set the alarm off, which is the distraction that Lycaena needs to put her hand in there.
Well, I thought we were going to activate the hand. There's no limitation on how long I can have the hand active once it's active.
Correct.
So my plan was to activate the hand, make sure that worked, and then signal the spider.
Oh, that's not how it works.
Why not?
It's when you activate the hand is when you check for a backlash.
Right, I know that, but that I was.
Or why is
I was.
She's asking why the spider is.
Why would the spider be going now?
Because I thought it was going to be the spider goes first, but what's actually going to happen is Lycaena goes first.
Well, I wasn't going to go first. I was going to activate the hand first.
Yeah, then you activate the hand, and then the spider
then
goes.
Indicate the spider. Because there's no point in the spider setting it off if I don't have the capacity to do this thing that I can't always do.
Yeah,
I mean-
right. So you're making sure the ghostly hand can come out, and then you're like, all right, spider, go. But now you're like, nope, don't do it, don't do it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking was happening.
Let me think about it for a minute, because my first take is like
hold on. How does the ghostly hand work?
yeah, my first take isn't that you have a hand and now you can do things with it. It's you do things with the hand.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Oh,
Like-
it's straight up a one action thing, so you wouldn't be able to check and then signal me.
Yeah, it's not like drawing a weapon and then striking with it. It's just striking.
I thought when you said there wasn't a limit as to how long the hand could go out, I'm like, oh, she just has a hand for a bit.
That's what I thought too.
But instead, it's like trying to signal before you attack whether or not you'll be able to make the attack.
Yeah,
and you
so
can't really do that.
it's like after you do a distraction, and then when he's flat-footed, I'll strike, and then you miss the strike, and it's like, oh, well, you never distracted him. Let's do a break. I'll keep thinking about it while I go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Where's my break time button? Here it is.
Oh god, it made a noise.
Ooh.
Alright, I'll be back in like 10 minutes.
10. That's so many.
5?
That's
3?
5.
Okay.
I guess I'll go refill my drink then.
I'm back.
Joe's back. Okay, so
I can't think of a justification for letting the hand persist. Explicitly a one-action thing. So it'd be like the turn order thing.
I am inclined to agree, but I don't think that this is necessarily going to spiral out of control. Yeah, like activating, it's not a hand that you turn on. It is, you can do an interact action at 15 feet away. The invisible arm doing it is all instantaneous stuff. So as a single interact action, you can put something in your hand or at your feet, or you can manipulate something 15 feet away. Those are.
But then I can't pick something up at my feet and move it 15 feet away.
It doesn't say you can do that, but I think that's fine. Well, you know, and hypothetically, you just throw it out with your regular hand and you use your ghostly grasp to bring it back. Like, that's all fine. But I think just in terms of order of operations, you would wait for the trigger to happen.
Right, no, but we need to... Oh, no, stop. Before we move forward on this scene, I need to understand how this power works.
Okay.
Because if I don't understand how it works, I can't use it as a player.
Okay.
So I was under the impression it was one action to activate it, but that obviously there would be... But then does it immediately deactivate? Like what is actually happening?
There's no action to activate it.
I thought that's what I just rolled a flat check on.
That the flat check doesn't cost an action.
Then what costs an action?
Costing an action is grabbing an object 15 feet away and depositing it in your hand or at your feet, or an interact action at 15 feet away.
Basically, trying to use the hand is what costs the action and causes the flat check. It's not like an ongoing effect. It's you can do this one thing.
Right, but if what I want the hand to do is hold open a door, can it do that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think you could you could open the door, but you wouldn't be able to hold it open because it's not like persistent hand.
So it's not a persistent effect. That's what I've been trying to figure out the answer to.
There's no duration attached for it. If it was a persistent effect, you'd have like duration unlimited or duration a day.
There is for the first awakened power, which is it lets you grab or restrain a creature for a round.
Okay.
So if that's the case, this won't work. Because if the thing has to be in the gate for 30 seconds, and I can't hold it there for 30 seconds, that's like 5 or 6 rounds.
Also,
then this whole plan doesn't work.
How fragile are we treating this thing?
Like that's what I was trying to get to, is the only way this plan even gets initiated is if the hand can hold something there.
I was kind of under the impression you were going to put it there and then pull it back.
I did also suppose that you were going to set it inside the gate and then
I don't know how we do this without 2 activations.
Okay, that was not what I was under the impression I was doing.
Dang, shared fantasy.
Well, no, but that's why I didn't want to move forward until we sorted this out.
Okay,
Okay.
Because when I asked...
How fragile is the device?
Because
if kicking it forward is an option, then we don't need to use the deviant ability at all to get it there.
The glass is something of like test tube thickness of glass. Like if you threw it hard against the ground, it would probably break. If you tossed it gently onto this like flagstone, I guess it just depends on how it manages to fall.
Is it as strong as modern test tubes? Modern test tubes are pretty fucking strong.
That is true, yeah.
Absolutely chuck those against the ground without them breaking.
Why don't you let Khali look at it? She's probably used to test tubes.
Man, I feel deeply concerned about that laugh. The way she said that. I'm concerned with test tubes.
There's no need to worry.
Okay.
Okay. Well, based on the understanding of how abilities work, let's turn all this off because we wouldn't have done the plan.
All right. Let's try.
I cannot give you any confidence that tossing it in there, even as gently as possible, will A, land where you want it to, and B, not shatter.
Okay.
How tall are those arches?
How tall are the arches? I did say earlier, so I definitely know that for sure.
I think it was 10 feet.
The arches are 20 feet tall and 10
Oh,
feet wide.
Jesus.
Okay, how tall are the trees next to it?
The trees are about 10 feet tall
Oh.
as well.
How
How-
long are the
how tall is
branches
the
and how
rope?
sturdy do they look?
The rope is about waist height, maybe a little lower than waist height, maybe 3 to 4 feet off the ground. That's not lower, 2 to 3 feet off the ground. What was the other question?
How far up does the alarm extend?
Unknown.
More than 10 feet.
More than 10 feet. You've seen birds swoop through and set it off.
Oh, okay.
But not like
But the birds like migrating, flying over the city probably.
you can definitely confirm you see birds flying high in the sky that do not trigger it, but occasional birds darting from these trees to each other do set it off. The oak stewards make a point to look in the direction whenever that happens, and when it's birds, they just are frustrated and go back to their guarding ship. But as far as the actual total height of it, you don't really have a solid way to test that yourself that I can think of, but maybe you can.
Oh, I mean,
Yeet the spider.
You could yeet the spider.
I do not want to chuck my spider high enough to take fall damage. Thank you.
Why don't we just do the same plan we were gonna do, but instead of Spider and Lycaena sneak in, it's Spider and Teriani or some other sneak in. So Spider goes in one end, the other person sneaks in the other way.
Well, because you can't sneak in without setting off the alarm.
Sure. But you said the alarm. So is the alarm directional? I guess the alarm is directional.
The alarm
right?
is directional, yeah.
Have we ever seen two things enter at once?
I mean, it'll probably just set off the alarm from both directions.
You have seen the southern threshold where there's no rope
Oh.
be passed through and it not set an alarm off, but it's, you know.
Actually, how sneaky do you think you guys are?
Not at all.
Not
Oh,
particularly.
this might be my play, actually.
I've got some stealth, but probably not enough.
So
I mean, I've got a little bit of sneakiness, but I have
If
some. I'm trained.
I
but-
slip in at the same time as my spider. I try to hide, but my spider does something else out in the open.
How confident are you that this, monstrous spider is going to pass as a natural creature?
I mean, these are druids.
They're druids, so arguably they'd be the ones to know. They may not be druids themselves, though. They may just, be wearing the guise.
I mean, it's a very shiny and colorful spider, so...
Here's the question. After we do this, is there any reason we need to stay in this city?
Seven Arches, not really. As far as you know.
So if we get caught, it doesn't break the campaign.
Well, yeah, you get caught. That's definitely a branching path. Get it, druids?
We do this and then we run away.
I mean...
Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if they think the spider is unnatural if they can't catch the spider.
Well, who has good deception?
None of
Okay.
us have good deception.
Because if Khali walks in getting distracted by the shiny, and then,
Yeah, I've I've +5 deception, so.
since they
Wow.
both explicitly look like you wander in and get seen and then escorted out, and then somebody else just kind of sneaks in. That's probably like the more intentional.
Yeah, you haven't seen them so far respond to anybody who is actively making trouble, so you don't know what that response would be. But when people do set the alarm off, they intervene just to make sure.
Are there kids around?
If it's early enough in the day, yes.
Could we give a kid a coin and tell him to go run into the thing?
It's not a bad plan.
I mean,
don't
they
think it's a
wouldn't.
great
They would
plan.
think it's a kid, you know. They're just making trouble.
Right, but that still doesn't.
That's a
Ignoring the
distraction.
ethical issue of potentially
mean-
putting a child at risk, which Lycaena is not super keen on.
I mean,
The child's not going to be at risk.
I don't think we get. The point is we don't get any vibes that they're not gonna like kill the fucking
They're
kid.
not going to murder a
pretty
child.
obvious
for
they're
they're
just
whatever
gonna,
reason.
like-
hurting the kid.
No, I mean just give a kid a coin. Ask him to just go
Oh, just-
into
just
the
set off
thing,
the
not
alarm.
like set off the stuff. Yeah, like not go into the arch, just set off the alarm. So that's a distraction, and it's a kid. They're not gonna do anything about a kid because kids are causing trouble anyways. You know, they'll just be like, "Leave, child."
What kind of age demographic are you looking for here? Are you talking about like a toddler, or are you talking about like a 10-year-old who's skinny kneed and looking for trouble?
Probably more like that, but not like a super young kid, but not like a teenager.
Okay.
So let's find an 8-year-old.
So yeah,
Yeah.
let's do a search for an 8-year-old with a gather information, just to see if you happen to notice one running around.
I am really bad at estimating ages of children, so I probably shouldn't deal with this.
You know,
I come in with like a 3-year-old, and you're just like, "Where did you get that child?"
yeah, y'all click that.
I will probably not assist in the finding of children.
Yeah, I'm a giant like cat woman. I'm sure they don't see them quite that often in this area.
Yeah. All right,
You probably
Khali.
have-
It's like
following
come
you.
up to me.
So yeah, we're gonna say that you guys have been staking this place out for a pretty long time, trying to come up with plans. People are, eating. We're in the good prime time of very early evening. This place is starting to get lit up with artificial lights around the place. And yeah, like you're on the eye for like maybe we can find some ne'er-do-wells or some like young kids just kind of hanging out, playing games, doing their own thing. And yeah, you will find just like a group of kids who are just moving through, just doing their own kid thing. Like 10-year-olds riding bikes through the neighborhood. They don't have bikes. We haven't invented bicycles yet. But yeah, you could approach them and do your plan.
All right.
Oh, sounds like your guys'
So
So what exactly
It's
is
a
this
legitimate plan?
plan?
get children to set off the thing, and then somebody
And have
probably
somebody
me
sneak in through the
sneaks.
center, probably.
who's gonna
the center.
who's gonna be the sneaker?
I will be the sneaker. I like being a shoe.
All right, Khali, this is your plan. You come up to these kids. They are like looking, pretty forlornly into one of these shop restaurants, looking for something to eat. Not necessarily like they're starving kids, but yeah, that when there is a candy shop, one looks through the window. And so, what do you want to do about it?
Kid, want to make some money? Stranger danger! Stranger danger!
Yeah, they're looking at one of these food carts, clearly like coveting the little like hand pies that are being sold.
I could bribe them with the pies. Say, hey, kids, if you I'll give you enough money to get you guys some pies if you'll do me a favor. And go, and you know how that makes a funny noise whenever somebody crosses the line over there?
Yeah.
If you guys will go and try and make as many funny noises as you can for the next little bit, I'll get you all a ham pie.
Well, what if we get turned into squirrels?
You will not get turned into squirrels, I promise you.
And we'll,
Besides,
then you'll grow up to be just like me.
These oak stewards are pretty serious stuff. I mean, like we know better than to mess with them. Go ahead, Khali here, and give me a make an impression check, which should be in your basic actions macro.
Actions aggro.
Akron, Ohio.
oh no. Let's see how badly I roll here. Very badly.
They don't seem inclined to cross the oak stewards at this time.
Fair enough.
They're like, yeah, ain't no amount of hand pie is gonna be worth turning into a squirrel. They, and it may be because they don't trust the Catwoman, but that did not succeed. You cannot find any children who are gullible enough to be your distraction.
Can I just run and jump over it, and when they go to me, I say, I thought I was gonna get turned into a squirrel and I was testing it?
Sure.
Oh, when she does that, I
Just
will
like,
try to
I'm a
sneak in.
cat.
All right,
cat,
so rather than
I don't
using
think they're
using
really
children, we're going to use cat people.
Yeah.
Much more humane.
Volunteer as tribute.
All right, well, it is not going to require a check or anything for Khali to set the alarm off and to like stand around dumbfounded while the guards investigate her.
Okay,
I thought I might be a squirrel.
Although it probably will require a check for me to sneak in. I guess it would kind of be a hide.
So what I want you to do is to target that oak steward and then roll on the basic action macro sneak or stealth or whatever it's called.
Well, I have sneak and I have hide.
Just sneak. They should. I mean, they both roll off of stealth.
It's the same thing in the same DCs. It's just,
Excuse me.
I slip in, of course, grabbing the device from Lycaena from her little incident.
You get the device. Good thing it's definitely still in the party pack. So you are successful to sneak in, hide under the cover of the archway in the trees, wherever you want to be, and begin getting this thing a reading. There's kind of like
I'm
a weird.
here, like thinking for a second, like, is there a word I'm supposed to say? Shit.
No, there's definitely like a weird resistance as you pass this thing back and forth in the gate. And it very slowly starts to like there's like a very faint bit of glow. Khali.
Oh no.
Yeah, so the one guard comes up and like, he raises his voice and yells at you to, get back, get over here, get out of there.
Okay.
And I know you want to be a distraction, so you probably want to like linger and talk to him a little bit. It's definitely a, hey, what are you doing? And he rushes up to you.
Well, see, I was talking to these kids, and they're all convinced that this thing will turn you into a squirrel. And I'm a curious cat by nature. And I like to take things into my own hands, so I just thought, well, we might as well go see.
All right.
It'll be fun to be a squirrel.
Click that.
Wow.
Nice. Great.
I hear hero point. Hero point.
You could hero point it.
Hero point.
You don't know about hero points.
How do I do that? I forgot.
Right.
Might be a good hero point moment.
Right click that and then hit reroll using a hero point.
Solid hero pointing.
Solid hero pointing. Yeah. So yeah, the other guard kind of wanders a little bit closer, somewhat abandoning his post to get involved in this interrogation here. But the Oak Steward Enforcer guard here is like clearly scowling at you and is like, look, you're not from around here. Clearly you're a tourist. You are not allowed into this area. This is a look but don't touch zone. So I'm going to give you a warning this time. Stay on the other side of the rope and all things will be okay. Got that?
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
Is this deception last long enough for me to slip back?
Hold on.
For-
Yeah, and then he's like, yeah, and if you cross that, if you cross over again, being turned into a squirrel will be the worst or the least of your problems.
Oh.
All right, Teriani. It takes about like 20 seconds really before this thing lights up in a brilliant purple light.
Oh shit! I stash it.
What? Yeah, like you're gonna need to respond pretty quickly. Give me a reflex save, or like maybe some kind of sleight of hand check or some such.
Well, I think my. I mean, I guess it'd kind of be palm an object, which is a +2. I think I'll take the reflex save. This button.
You say this like it was deception, but Khali genuinely wants to know if she would be a squirrel.
Holy smokes! Yeah. So you get the thing. It is definitely as bright as a torch at this point with this brilliant purple light. But you squirrel it away into your, out of sight, smothering the light.
Now I just need to sneak out.
Yeah. At this point, the guards has returned to their post, so the front is covered again. How you want to get out of here is up to you. I don't know if anybody wants to do another distraction or to really test these guards' patience. Khali, they are giving you some pretty, we're keeping an eye on you looks as you linger about the plaza.
Hey.
Can I approach the guards, despite the fact that Lycaena doesn't like to talk to people?
Yeah.
That's actually not true. She just doesn't like to waste words. And thank them profusely for being patient with my cat friend.
Okay. I will attempt to slip out during the profuse thanking.
Okay. So.
And that is actually pretty sincere.
I know it's Prince. So go ahead, Lycaena, and roll on this deception as well. I know you're being sincere, but
I'm creating a distraction.
You're creating a distraction.
I'm going to use a hero point on that.
Thank you.
Let's remember how to do that. I think I can click it, yes, and re-roll using a hero point. Oh, that wasn't much better.
So
no,
it's not. It's not the failure condition for this is just that you did not create any kind of distraction. Like the guards are it's getting to be late. Shouldn't you foreigners be finding your beds?
Oh yeah, that's my inn recommendations. While I attempt. Do I just book it, guys?
You certainly could.
I mean, do we know if the alarm triggers from the inside out?
We don't. I don't think. Do we?
We should.
We should if we've been watching it for this long.
It definitely does.
Okay.
But if he does it fast enough, then they would just see a trigger in that direction, not necessarily.
Yeah, it's
I would try to sneak first, but if that fails, I don't think booking is the worst idea.
Right.
You don't necessarily explicitly need a distraction to sneak past the guard. You just gotta, hope that you time it well, i.e., do well on the dice.
Yeah. I still have a hero point, but the problem is it's a secret roll, and I don't know when I should hero point it.
Can you even hero point secret rolls? Because you're supposed to not know the outcome, just the roll.
Yeah, I don't think there's an opportunity to hero point secret rolls. So
that's always seemed weird to me, but I think you're probably strictly reading, you're not wrong.
I think fine.
Yep. Well, let's give Lycaena one for trying to help with the distraction.
So I have two ideas here. One of them is to drop the spider and run out myself. So that when they trigger in the direction, they see the spider. And my other plan is just to try to straight roll it out. I don't know what's optimal, but I guess I'm the one in the shit spot.
You guys are all outside just sweating bullets.
Could he not, like, pass the rod to someone under the rope or something?
That's actually not a bad plan.
You know, just very gently roll it across under the rope since you're
Well,
right
it's
next to
fucking
it.
glowing right now, so that's not exactly a subtle thing I can hand off. Like, that'd just be making another check for not a lot of reason.
That's true.
I think you'd be fine to
Just
just fucking like it. Yeah, like just leave your spider behind and then run through. And
yeah.
then just hope your spider passes a normal spider. I'm assuming you can't just call it in. Like it physically exists and it has to.
Yeah, it's always going to be with me.
Wait, I mean, the spider went in with you?
Yeah, he'd be on me.
Yeah, this is like if you don't need to necessarily separate, if you're gonna book it, just like he's just holding on for dear life with the spider hands.
Well, I think what he means is like
He's like, I let the spider go, and
let the
then
spider
I
be in
cross.
his zone. Yeah, so when they come to
Yeah.
investigate, they see the spider.
Oh.
Man, it alarming on in and out must be annoying for these guys. Every time a squirrel
You
goes
can
in
tell
there,
it's extremely annoying.
Yeah, I think that's probably a.
They are trained to investigate every time. Hey, look at that guy.
I will move out, and then like it triggers on my spider, and then my spider will very pointedly just kind of wander and also move out. Ideally, when this guard is on the other side, so it doesn't like he doesn't
see all the
me.
hands.
Yeah.
So
Since I'm relying on my spider here, would my spider be creating a diversion?
you actually aren't going to need to make any kind of a check. Assuming that you guys wait long enough for them to kind of resettle into their thing. When you are stepping over the rope, it's very clear that you set the alarm off. They run up to you and more or less give you the same speech that they gave to Khali. It's like, hey, you're not from around here. You can't be in here. And as long as you're not trying to make your way past them into it, like leaving, even though it sets the alarm off, is what they want.
Yeah,
That
fair
makes
enough.
sense.
So yeah, he comes out and he's just like, hey, what are you doing? You can't be here. This is your warning.
Okay, I am sorry. I back off. I accept the warning.
Um,
Wow, no chance at getting distracted by the spider.
You gotta
that's fine.
No, you gotta set it off again with a spider. Holy moly, that was a lot of stress.
I know. There's a lot of stress for basically no reason. If we could just do that. Yeah, no. The spider sets it off, takes a long way back to round to me.
I mean, I think the biggest thing was we were worried about fucking the whole campaign up, and then we're like, oh, we don't actually really need to worry about whether or not we piss this town off.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd rather not get seen as enough and immediately
Well,
addicted from the whole
What
town.
you don't know is that Khali and Teriani are on a list now.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. They,
Yeah,
Well,
they,
this
let's
guy-
do it.
they just can't be the ones to cause trouble next time.
Khali's used to it.
I'm not used to it. I'm a nice person. I'm a good person, guys.
Well, that was the campaign, guys. Good job.
Alright.
You guys can get the heck out of here.
Yeah, is there any reason we need to be in town?
Can I like pass those kids and say I told you it wouldn't be a squirrel?
Yeah, okay, kitty lady.
Oh my god, and buy a fucking fruitcake in front of him and eat it while walking
I
off.
want to.
Heck yeah. Darn kids. Well, at least you didn't get a kill. You didn't get kids attacked by druids.
That's true. Can I how do you do sleight of hand now?
It's called something new.
Steal. It's called steal, and I don't have it. Never mind. Okay.
I think it'd be palm an object or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would be, and I don't have thievery, so let's move on.
Alright, actually, I think palm an object is basically someone trying to. What are you trying to steal?
My not trying to steal anything. I was gonna try to see if I could slip the kids some money, but if they notice me, it becomes in violation of the tenets of my deity. So.
Well, they don't necessarily look like they're like desperately poor or like scavenging and groveling. They just look like they were kids who wanted snacks. That's part.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why they.
Roger.
That's probably part of the reason why they declined the offer, because they weren't like destitute. They were just like, nah, this could be fun, but nah, dog, we're not gonna get the druids like mad at us. What do you?
Probably had fun with it.
All right. Well, I guess since we spent a fucking hour on that,
Yeah, we're problem solvers, guys.
let's go. Let's go. Slip out of the city. Show her the thing.
Yeah, you can meet up with Fionara, who is staying at a.
If there's like a trading post out there's got to be like some kind of inn, because the purpose is trade, right?
Yeah, she is at this little like basically border crossing area that is not so much like a civilization as it is a waypoint where travelers can stay or elves can be turned away. So yeah, there's places to stay there. Let's go back to.
I mean, border towns are just like a thing.
Yeah, this is
It could be a border camp. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not big enough to necessarily have a name or a title. It's just the border crossing into Seven Arches.
Yeah,
That's fine. As long as it has a bed.
Yes, you can definitely. This is a place to stay. So in the inn.
Do you have fun with that? Were you planning that for a bit?
And when you produce the device down in, I guess, like the tavern area of this place, where people will.
Oh, she wanted to keep it quiet, right? Wouldn't it be in one of the rooms? Is there rooms?
There are rooms. She's not particularly interested in it like being a secret.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, Pathfinder.
But when produced, if you want it to be a secret, that's she'll defer. But she doesn't care.
If she doesn't care, I don't care. I'm just going to pull out the magic glowing stick, be like, here.
And her face brightens up, and she gleefully points at it and says, "Look, just as I suspected. See how it shines purple? That's illusion magic for sure." And she kind of turns it around, and you can see that one of the like bulbous protrusions on it is unlit. And she says, "This would be where the traces of conjuration would be. Those arches are as fake as a Kelpie smile. I knew it."
But there's no such thing as schools. How do you know this?
we haven't gotten that far yet. There's no teleportation magic that I can tell, and that's still a tag.
That's still a tag.
So, all right. Well, a deal's a deal. So I'll tell you what I thought Dr. Riddleson, Dr. Eddie would like. The real Seven Arches are hidden somewhere south in the Wildwood. Oak Stewards also restrict travel there. They have guards posted and patrolling between here and the Wildwood, as well as the Wildwood itself. On the night of your missing moment, I have learned that the 7 guards posted at the arches themselves stepped through the portals, just like you did, but only one of them returned. An Oak Steward named Bolin. He's, from what I've heard, a self-righteous prick. When he got back, Bolin was a changed man, and not in a good way. The High Council gave him a talking down to for shirking his post, and in retaliation, he stole an Oak Steward artifact and hid out in the Wildwood along with some of his other malcontents. He's been sending cronies to the city to harass citizens, and he's been undermining the Oak Steward's authority and recruit other discontented druids to his cause. His ultimate aim, as far as I can tell, is a full-on coup, and he's trying to take over Seven Arches. I don't know what happened to this Bolin character when he went through the arch, but he changed, and I figure you want to know what happened to him too.
Would love to know what happened to him, because most people don't remember, but if he actually changed, then he might remember something from the other side.
Do we know that most people don't remember, or like this, like just in general, people don't remember?
You have never encountered anyone who remembers their time in the gates.
So I assume that also means that we've never heard of anybody changing substantially besides maybe like some trauma.
There's been, yeah, some people have changed, but they are like, you haven't. People
like you
have
just like get like extra teeth or something.
Yeah, people have had physical mutations and also like weird occult experiences. Like, there's an alternate reality where
bunch of
Lycaena
hands
felt,
rubbing
ghostly
over you.
hands pulling her onto the ground. So people change in response to that. It's your skepticism would say, oh yeah, whatever happened to Bolin is what changed him in a he doesn't remember way. But this is a lead to somebody who may, have had persistent memories.
Yeah, the doc's gonna want to find out about that.
Fionara says, I've got a contact in the Oak Stewards, a halfling named Lemma Feldthorn. I'm on relatively good terms with her through my connections with the Pathfinder Society. I can, as long as you haven't done anything to piss the Oak Stewards off, I can get you a letter of introduction to maybe meet with her. I know the Oak Stewards are trying to keep this Bolin problem subtle, but having an ally on the inside might help you get certain doors open.
And
I mean, they haven't taken our name, so I doubt we've really done anything to piss them off.
No, we're just vaguely on a list. Like, hey, here's this guy who thinks he's being clever disguising himself. We all know he's an elf.
I mean, the public still thinks elves just fucking die, right? So even if they thought you were being weird, I doubt they think you're an elf.
Well, I mean, the rumor is that the curse is no longer there. I don't know how the fuck that rumor would start, though.
Yeah, because some elf would have had to try to break in and not die.
Yeah, like, where did this rumor start? Hold on.
I don't know, maybe some dude just decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm tired of this. I don't believe it's gonna kill me. And then he walks through. It's like, yeah, okay, it didn't kill me. You guys are fucking idiots.
Maybe the curse itself was a rumor.
Did everybody come out of the same gate that they walked into?
Yes, that has been 100% consistent.
Okay. I was considering the possibility that, hey, maybe an elf walked out of that gate. But if it's the same one they walked into, then yeah. Or maybe someone who has a bit of knowledge on the curse just noticed that it wasn't there anymore. Like, it's not like curses are just invisible to people who study magic.
So we're gonna go talk to a lady then, huh?
Well, we're going to talk to a hat.
You guys are going to sleep. Get all your resources back.
I do like sleeping, getting my resources back, and I'll take a second to consider my spell list, because I should have done that at the beginning of this day, and I might have been more prepared for stuff. Well, I guess not really.
What are resources? I'm good.
Set current date. All right, so that was Fire Day, the 6th of Abydeus.
No, my mystic armor. Come.
Oh, there's a button to reapply.
Oh, cool. I shouldn't have that first rank spell then. Or no, I can have a total of 2 first rank spells. Never mind, I'm looking at that wrong. I'm an idiot. I'm a prepared caster. I gotta remember these things.
Yeah, when you left Seven Arches, nobody accosted you or bothered you leaving the town. It doesn't seem like they particularly care about like controlling imports and exports or that kind of thing. Maybe if you had like a big caravan wagon, it would be a different problem. But just folks on foot is no deal. You realize you're gonna have to sneak back in again.
I mean, they didn't even question us, right? We just walked in.
Yeah, but you also did pretty well on your deceptions.
Yeah, that's fair. We don't know that though.
So, this is gonna, continue to potentially be a problem. I'll knock 2 replacement cosmetics away. As long as you've got those cosmetics, we're gonna say that getting into and out of Seven Arches is trivial. None of you guys are full-blooded elves, and it just takes a little bit of hanging your hair and looking downcast eyes and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
So this place that we didn't have any reason to be in, again, we're back.
I thought we were going south into the wood.
No, we're getting a hookup with somebody who works for the druids, right?
Yeah, you have an Oak Steward contact now.
Yeah, the Oak Stewards live in the town.
Yes.
The guy who went out into the woods is a defector.
If Fianara will give you the instruction that if you want to speak with her contact Lemma, you'll meet up with her in Vine Hall. And she writes you a little letter that hopefully can grant you entrance.
All right.
What a good game.
Well,
So we head back into the city, and we go find this half-elf lady.
Nope. Fianara, when you leave in the morning, says, "I really hope that this helps you in your investigation. I promised that I had information, and
I'm sure that whether it helps us or not, Dr. What's his last name again?
Riddleson."
Riddleson would like to, I'm sure he'd be happy to talk with you about it again.
Yeah, I get a feeling he'd love that, but that was a long time ago. And she kind of, does a contented, I know something you don't know kind of a sigh. Window, close that. So Vine Hall is this big manor house that is clearly in some ancient elven style, and it's clearly in ruins, but all of the physical damage and decay has been filled in or supported with this very thick carpet of woven ivy and like thick creeping vines that have expertly reinvigorated the house.
that's Vine Hall.
The walls and the floor of the building are clearly like this living hedge that weaves between ancient elven stonework and current living brushwork and ivy. The attendants want to know what your business here is in Vine Hall.
We're here to see. I forget her name. The halfling lady.
You can refer to your letter.
Yeah, we had the letter.
That says you're here on business to meet with Lemma Feldthorn. who they summon, and I can give you art. Bam.
Art.
What's not?
What an art.
Big ol' scratch.
Oh, she
Uh,
has.
Yeah, she is a halfling woman who is presents herself as well as a completely full-sized horse that she introduces as hello. I have Leonara sent you to talk to me.
Yeah. We need some information, and we heard that a particular guy that you're after may have some information that we're after. So, quid pro quo is in order.
I apply quid pro quo. Quid pro quo.
Would like to apply the quid.
Mm.
She says, Let's walk and talk. That's good for Mulberry here. And she pats the horse. She has to reach up to pat it because she is a small, tiny woman, and this horse is 6 feet high. How tall are horses?
Pretty tall.
Uh,
Yeah, like
Don't we count in hands?
Yeah, you count in hands.
your
They're-
average
they're
horse's
big.
back is about as tall as I am, which is
Like
about 6
6 feet ish tall.
So she
Big
leads
head
you
is tall.
leads you off of the main foyer of the hallway, and you guys just kind of do laps through the hallways as you carry on this conversation. And she is pretty guarded in the conversation, but she says, well, we definitely, the Oak Stewards and Seven Arches definitely have many enemies. Could you be any more?
We have a name, right?
You do have a name.
Yeah,
You give her
I
the
just didn't
name.
want to be like, yeah, we're here after this guy when it's like in public.
Oh,
Like
well,
while we're walking in a presumably quieter place, yeah, this guy. I have some stuff we're looking for. His
uh,
name I did not write down, but I'm sure my character would remember, or somebody else has written down.
It's been literally 4 hours.
mean,
yeah, an Oak Steward.
Teriani has a good, +4 int. He can remember things, right?
An Oak Steward named Bolin. Which, when you speak it, she reflexively frowns. It says, this Bolin fella has been a problem. The Oak Stewards are stretched pretty thin right now. I don't know if you've heard about what's happened with the disappearance of the Omnibulant Curse. It's straining our relationship with Keonan. You may know that this was once Elven land, and
How long ago was it Elven Land?
something like 2,000 to 5,000 years ago.
So, more like they're looking at ancestral land, not within living memory. Got it.
Well, for the Keanan, that's kind of a big deal. The
Right.
Keanan are big on the past.
Well, there's 2 problems with the curse. Is one, we don't know why it's gone, so it could come back without notice. And if elves are here, we don't want them to suffer the effects. And if it doesn't come back, that is good. That is a great thing, but we don't want to potentially invite conflict with Keonan. Plus, there have been increased Gorga attacks in the Wildwood, and Bolin has been causing trouble. He stole the key to the 7th Arch, called the Shadewither Key. And
Bit of a problem.
what we have determined is that he seems like he plans to use it in some ritual someday soon. We've been trying to get to the bottom of it, but the problems with Keonan and patrolling, keeping the community safe from the Gorga attacks, and losing Oak Stewards to Boland's, frankly, discontent has been a problem.
We would be willing to... It would serve our research interests to seek out... What was his name again? Bolin?
Bolin.
Bolin.
Like
Like
what's
the
his name?
dorky guy in Avatar.
Yeah.
That would serve our needs. So perhaps there is a compromise here that would a mutually beneficial arrangement, which would allow us to serve and in
Hey,
exchange,
our interests align. Give us information. We'll go get them.
we would like access to the Seven Arches, the actual Seven Arches.
Okay. We don't know where Bolin is hiding out. We suspect it's somewhere in the Wildwood because that's where the Seven Arches are. I'll give you that info. Yeah, I can divulge the information, the location of the Seven Arches, and I can also give you a writ that will allow you to pass freely in the Wildwood, and it should allow you to access the Aiudara from whoever is on post protecting it. What I will need from you is that you reclaim the gate key and capture Bolin so that we can punish him.
Fair enough.
We could certainly try.
We don't have a lot of details on what ritual he's planning on do with the gate key, but hopefully you could disrupt that as well.
Someone's got to have the means to locate the artifact he stole, though, right? I mean, there are magical methods of locating such things.
Yeah, but you just keep it in the lead box. No go.
Oh, okay.
Isn't the Wildwood itself really hard to navigate? Like, it's itself magical, right? Am I remembering the right place?
The Wildwood itself isn't magical, but it is populated by many fey creatures, and especially of late, more and more Gorga, which are shadowy fey creatures of malicious and malevolence.
Malicious and malevolence.
So a bunch of creatures from the first world, a bunch of scary creatures from the first world. All right. What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen?
Probably a lot, but let's go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I could give you a very great many of details if you actually want to know the worst, but let me be sarcastic about it and let's go.
Perhaps I'm wrong. Certainly wouldn't be the first time. But it seems to me that it is in our best interests to seek out this person, and perhaps we can,
Well, we might be able to work something out with the existing Fae, depending on how much of a dick he's been. Because there's a lot of creatures of the Fae here. There might be somebody knows where he is. You don't cross
I'm sure
through.
somebody does.
You don't cross through land with Fae without drawing some attention from them.
In general, that's my understanding.
But I mean, some of the Fae that we were talking about are some of those Gorga or whatever, right?
Yeah, some of them are going to be a bit spooky.
That are very obviously.
Well,
attacking.
and they may not have any interest in... It's very possible their interests do not align with our interests.
I mean, Kirrik's very prone to the idea of just walking in and getting shit done, but...
I mean, I would love to walk in and get shit done. We don't know where in is.
It's in the forest.
Right, I don't know
figure it
that
out.
walking in and getting shit done is viable at this precise moment.
We know exactly where he is. He's in the forest.
Yeah, Lemma suspects that he is somewhere in the Wildwood.
Yeah, we know a 300 square mile vicinity of where he might be.
But she can give you very explicit directions to the Aiudara.
We could start with the
That-
Aiudara. Is there? We'll figure it out when we get to the Aiudara.
It is about a 2-day journey south, some
How-
some 50 miles.
Okay.
Be wary of Fae and their wild magic, as well as
That's generally good advice.
awakened animals.
Who would awaken an
Also-
animal? You'll give them anxiety.
Welcome to stress.
Also,
birds.
generally good advice.
But with this Barkrit, any Oak Stewards who have not gone rogue should defer to your investigations.
Cool.
Okay.
How many of them have gone rogue?
We talking dozens or hundreds?
We're talking dozens.
Or like 10?
Some Oak Stewards are a very decentralized organization. Expecting to not hear from any particular member is common. We tend to self-regulate ourselves. It's based on our own personal relationship with, with nature.
With the wilds.
But some 20 or so druids we know of have expressed discontent with leadership and have rallied themselves to Boland's cause.
I hate to be the one to ask this question, but is there a way to tell who is whom?
Political conversation, a few drinks. Boland's chief complaints are that the Oak Stewards are not ruthless enough in protecting nature and are too permissive of the actions of humanity and all of humanity, not specifically humans, but just those
right.
people who are not
Is it? Yeah, he's opposed to. I understand.
Golarions.
Right.
Wait.
Is Boland? What is? Can you describe Boland to us?
He's human. He should be. He's in some in his 30s or so.
What color is his hair?
Colors his hair. I got pictures of him. Hold on, let me look at these things.
She draws up an immaculate picture of him, right? With the art supplies she has on hand.
Let's see here. He's of Andorran ancestry. He's tall, has dark brown hair. But yeah, ever since he abandoned his post for weeks, he's been just angry.
Yeah, well, going through the gates can cause some interesting responses.
Some people join the order because they want to protect nature, and some people join the order, I fear, because they hate humanity.
And you worry that he is more in the second category than the first.
I think he's made that very clear.
He has made that abundantly clear, and more of the Oak Stewards are rallying to that cause. I fear he is not a good person.
Yeah. All right, well.
But we don't talk about goodness these days.
Well, let's wander down and see what we find at the actual arches.
Yeah. Lima wishes you great success. That potentially the fate of the Oak Stewards and Seven Arches itself might be in your hands.
Oh dear. No pressure.
No
No
pressure.
pressure, yeah.
Why does this kind of stuff keep happening?
We like druids.
I was a druid.
No
once
beef with
upon a time.
druids. Druids seem fine.
We got beef in the fridge.
We do have beef in the fridge. That's
We-
for tomorrow.
We bought beef today.
We did.
I ate beef today.
Because I'm making Hungarian goulash.
Mm.
Does anybody want to buy any supplies for going in the woods 50 miles away? I expect
I
probably
can get
not.
us food.
I think I have. I mean, if we have, probably most of us should have basic adventuring stuff. Do we want to get tents or anything?
Do we know what the general hazards are of this area, other than like the wildlife?
Yeah, the wildlife.
Yeah, what are some
Very well.
unstabbable hazards?
People,
Yeah.
Limit doesn't advise you of anything to be worried about, except once you get to the woods, there are fae. You've been hearing that there have been more and more, Gorga attacks of travelers as well as Oak Stewards. So that is something to be aware of.
Are face vulnerable to any particular type of attack?
Yes, and if you're interested in
Old
buying
iron.
cold iron and silver, she recommends that there is in Seven Arches a blacksmith named Kamor Lee, a human who specializes in crafting varieties of cold iron and silver weapons in her business called Silver and Cold.
Well, that's
Silver and Cold.
logical name.
Silver and Cold.
Well, I mean, a gold iron object is going to be what, 20 gold? Do we have that kind of cash on us?
Somebody's got needle darts.
I got needle dart, so cold iron chunk for less. Hold on. Internet is still, it's 10 gold for a cold iron chunk.
What about just getting some of those oil thingies that you put on your weapons?
Oh, like a poison or something?
No, there's it used to be called Silver Sheen, but now it's called something else.
Yeah, they make
Something-
this like it's like an alchemical thing, and you can put it on weapons,
I
and
was
it
about to ask, is it something that I could make?
probably if you had the formula for it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could.
I'm sure I could get the formula for it here.
Yeah, you could buy the formula and actually, yeah. Let me find out what it's explicitly called.
I will use 7 of my own gold and 3 gold from the party funds to purchase a chunk of cold iron from the blacksmith.
Yeah, if I have some notes on Seven Arches,
Or if the prices are different, let me know.
they are not. This is a settlement. And you are only limited by availability to your level. But I want to find these silver items because I can't remember what they're called. There's a cold iron one and there's a silver one, and they changed the name of them, and I cannot remember in core what they're called.
Cold iron blanc? Blanche?
Yes.
Blanche, cold iron blanche.
That's what I typed in cold iron and it brought that up. Oh no, whatchamacallit.
Cold iron
the
blanche,
compendium.
lesser.
Yeah.
That's a 3rd level item.
Oh no.
So you wouldn't be able to make it yet.
Can we buy it?
But I think that's definitely something that is available in this town based on, the problems they have.
Mm-hmm.
The silver thing is not called silver. It's called something else.
It used to be called Silver Sheen. It's not called that anymore.
Silver salve?
Salve.
Just-
You're solving all their problems.
I appreciate the problem solver.
I just typed silver.
I like a person who can Google well.
I'm on the compendium.
Yeah. I was like looking through the physical books.
There's Cold Iron Blanch Lesser and Silver Salve, which is a second level item. You could buy both the formula and these things independently. You just don't have the skill yourself yet to make them.
Okay.
And yeah, they're both available in Seven Arches.
Well, how much do they cost?
Silver Salve is
Silver Salve 6 gold for one. Cold Iron Blanc for a lesser one is 10 gold for one. According
Well,
to
if it's
this.
10 gold to buy that, how expensive is it just to buy a cold iron spear?
That's a good question, Mega Man.
Like, you see what I'm getting at? Like,
Yeah,
if we're
yeah.
gonna have
20
to
gold.
buy...
For a low grade cold iron spear, and it's a second level item.
So we can't have it.
So the item
Sorry.
silver and cold iron weapons are more available here than elsewhere. So you wouldn't have access to it for being second level characters, but being in Seven Arches, you have access to it because they are selling it to adventurers. So
Because they're 7 arches.
yeah, if you wanted to buy,
well, I mean, it's a lot of money, and I don't know if we have enough money, so
Well,
I want to
right.
leave that one as a group discussion.
I'm going to. I'm going to go through with my. My God, I have to do that. Is there a consolidate coin button?
I don't think so.
So remove 2 gold and 50 silver. Right, total of 7.
Watching
Then
the
remove.
party total just shift.
And then I can't seem to edit the gold on the party thing.
What do you want it to do?
Right. To go down by 3. And then that should give me a... What was the quick thing for the compendium search?
Control space.
Control space. And I'm using that to purchase a cold iron trunk.
Nice chunk.
Yep. He has them laying around, so it should be fine. Right. Can I just like drag this on my character sheet from there? Oh, cool. That's really convenient. And then I will put that in like kind of the top of my satchel so I can easily pull needles off of it when I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And this helps you guys because you will spend less time eating bits of whatever I throw my needles through off the cooking pots.
Kirrik, do you want to get any special material side piece items?
Well, the coating was expensive as fuck, right?
The coating
So are the items is the problem.
Using the coatings 3 times is about as expensive as getting a permanent item.
But I'm not sure we can afford 2 weapons of cold iron, can we?
Yeah. I mean, the advantage of the coating is like you might have a silver sword or just like an untyped sword with a whole bunch of magic on it.
Yeah. There's 31.34 gold in the party stash.
I think buying 2 salves is probably not the end of the world. Like, yeah, maybe getting a weapon would have been more efficient, but 2 salves means that our 2 people who use weapons can both have access to the silver, as opposed to just one person.
Yeah.
It's also probably worth mentioning I do have runic weapon.
As do I.
So, okay, so you handle your own weapon, and then I'll, at some point.
Khali is studying up on these recipes that she's got to buy. Let me see how much those cost.
Yeah.
No,
But runic weapon just makes it magic, right?
it
just
makes it
magic.
+1 striking.
Right, but it doesn't make it silver.
Right,
does
but
not make it
if
silver,
you have a
but-
silver weapon, then you can runic it.
If you apply the salve and then I come in and put runic and striking behind it, because I'm not sure. I don't know if they are weak to cold iron or they are resistant to all things other than cold iron.
Yeah, I don't know either, and our characters probably don't. So
Adding if they're resistant to all except cold iron, adding striking to it increases your damage, which is going to significantly increase like the damage you're dealing to him because math.
How does this determine whether or not we should buy you?
It doesn't. I'm just considering like what I will need to do with my action economy and spells available in the near future.
But we need cold iron, right? Not silver?
Yeah, cold iron.
Or is it okay? 'Cause that's 10
I'm
gold.
fairly certain Fae are cold iron, and I feel like my character would know that because of the Azada touch and being like generally close to elves and Fae in general.
I mean, how do you feel about cold iron?
It doesn't hurt me.
Not ever been a fan.
You get.
I think it's safe to say that if you are stabbed by an cold iron weapon, it will hurt.
That's entirely fair. If I am stabbed by a cold iron weapon, it will hurt.
Oh shit!
Okay.
I'm weak to cold iron.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it just won't
touching
hurt
cold
more.
iron doesn't make me uncomfortable.
Sister person, if you wanted these formulas, the cold iron blanch formula is 3 gold, and the silver salve formula is 2 gold.
I can get one of those.
I, on grounds of alchemy being generally like benefits the party significantly, I am not opposed to using party funds to get more
Cold iron
larger
blanch.
variety.
Cold
of
iron
things
blanch
available
might be a
for-
little more expensive because it's uncommon.
I think I agree.
But you
I
said
mean,
that
I think
they're more
formulas
available
are
here.
like they're going to be useful to all of us if Khali
Yeah.
can make them.
We're basically offering to bankroll your research.
That's why you guys joined this organization, right? Was for the funding.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's why most people join organizations.
Entirely fair. I joined the state for funding. I need an entertainment fund and a living fund.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the mission of a university, but I also appreciate the fact that they pay me.
Well,
Yeah, it's.
So,
I mean,
Because-
I appreciate like the mission of public assistance, and it's why I don't take my very same skill set of reading program of policy and applying it to people's lives to work over an insurance, because I'm not that heartless.
well,
I don't think I could do it.
because the Oak Steward specifically referred you to Kamor, she is willing to share the formula for cold iron blanch.
Ooh.
yeah.
You still have to pay for it, but
Okay.
She's willing to share it.
That's, what'd you say, 3 gold?
yeah, 3 for cold iron blanch and 2 for silver salve.
Well, I have 4 on me, so I want to snag a singular piece of gold.
Yeah, just grab the 3 gold from the party fund.
We're going to distribute all of the things in the stash before we head out. Because I hate it there. Where's
So
our
he
bag
does
of
hate
holding?
it there.
A
Yeah,
bag
how much
of
is a
gold.
bag of holding? Like 20 gold or something?
All bags are a bag of holding if you put things in them.
I mean, everything in the stash is either money or disguise kits. So elves take the disguise kits, and then we leave the money in there.
Alright, I will hold on to the disguise kit.
I think we got to give all the money to the cat.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cat likes the shiny.
Cat likes the
Cat
shinies.
does like the shiny very much. Okay. Whoop-a-doop-a-doo.
I think it's fine if we give it to the cat. How much do we trust the cat?
100%.
The cat's not gonna spend everything. The cat
Trust-
likes to hoard the shiny.
That's a good point. Second thoughts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's the most likely to keep
Hey,
other
the cat
people.
already put the ring and the emerald and the shiny sword back in there. You can trust the cat.
It's her
Yeah, I
hoard.
mean-
She doesn't want, anybody spending it, including herself.
The worst case scenario, she uses some gold and turns it into treasure, which we can turn back into gold.
That's fair. That is fair.
Although I do love the idea that she just slowly starts buying like random little gems because they're shiny.
Wait, why did it put all of the gold in my inventory? Hold on. I thought I put 3. Oh, did someone else?
I'm putting
Yeah.
everything in your money now.
Oh, okay.
And there's
I
still
know we've
money
all
in the
apparently
thing.
decided to trust the cat.
She's family.
How much was that? Both of those total was 5 gold?
Listen, do you want to trust the edgy hate god guy, the less edgy worship a god guy,
Lycaena would absolutely be a very, very safe person to trust.
I trust her.
But I
Hey.
am not the best person to have to do anything that requires resource management. So
I was gonna say that, but that wasn't very in character.
that's an out of character.
I was
problem.
looking for in character justification.
Hey,
Or not an in character problem.
Khali has 30 gold and 76.
In character, she's probably amazing at keeping track of shit. Also,
Khali
aren't
liked
you a
it.
librarian? Isn't keeping track of shit like your degree?
That's why they made a whole
Yeah,
system
that's why I
for
don't
it.
want to do it when I'm, playing a tabletop role-playing game.
That's fair.
All right.
This
I
is
don't
why I
know.
don't like
My whole
playing
job is
Cthulhu.
reading and interpreting rules, and then I come home and play D&D and read and interpret rules.
Actually, the
The
funniest,
funniest part of my work is that the stuff that I'm really, really good at is not the stereotypical stuff that a librarian's good at. It's like I am not a detail-oriented person.
Detail-oriented is a developed skill anyway.
I'm going to step
Can
away
be,
for less
but,
than a
like,
minute, and then we'll journey.
I do
Okay.
also know people that are like one of my coworkers has one of the most detail-oriented jobs you can have in the library, and then she goes home and her hobby is hand-making lace. Which is a hobby, which is a tatting, which is a thing in which you make knots. So if you make an error, you cannot fix it.
I'm sure there's like a bell curve in how much detail orientation you want in your life compared to like how good you are at it. Like if you suck at it, you're just horrible at it. You probably don't really want it as your career either. But if you're pretty good at it, then having it in your career is probably fine. But you don't want it at home. But if you're really, really good, I guess it'd be like a reverse bell curve.
Yeah, like
if you're
she
really,
loves
really
it.
good at it, then you also want it in your personal life.
Yeah, like I can be detail-oriented when I need to be.
Yeah, because I was
But I do not have I am not good at sustaining that level of attention.
Yeah.
For an
It's 'cause when
8-hour
I-
day.
started with public assistance, I got complaints about my lack of details, but at this point, I'm getting complimented on how well I'm able to pick up details.
Well, again, it's something you do. I do think you can get
it is
better at it over
absolutely
time.
developed,
I don't want to
yeah.
suggest that that's not the case. It's just, yeah, I can write really good metadata, but it's not going to be as perfectly consistently written as other people I know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the person, who's going to phrase every single sentence the exact same way for 700 entries made over the course of 7 weeks.
Why the fuck
I'm
isn't
just
that
not
automated?
wired that way. But I have a colleague who is absolutely wired that way. If you want me to do that, I need to make myself a cut and paste template, which I do have for my job.
Yeah.
But-
I have all sorts of templates just saved.
Yeah, me too, and that's how I get around it. But
I say templates,
yeah,
but,
I've watched people who are really good. I work with people who, what they do, what their skill, what their professional marketable skill is that kind of attention to detail.
It's going to take
incredible, but it's not me.
It's going to take 2 days of travel to cover the 50 miles into the Wildwood.
Wildwood.
Nothing of consequence is going to happen during the overland travel until you get to the woods, unless I need everybody to give me wait, I'll prompt it here. Request wool. All players, please.
I guess I should perform my daily crafting.
Yeah, press button, receive free goodies. Do we all chug the potions before they expire?
Hmm?
Do we all have
Oh,
fun
yeah.
chugging the
Just-
potions before they expire?
Here, drink this.
Drink this. What is it? Oh, health potion.
Alright.
There's no tokens. That's why.
I have
Hold on,
performed
I
my
gotta
daily crafting.
gotta throw the
It'd be
party
weird
into town.
In the setting, if health potions were mildly addictive because they just make you feel good.
Potions
So many
make
of us
you
go
feel
through life with
good.
little small aches and pains.
In Starfinder, there was an offhand reference in the first adventure to somebody being addicted to health injections.
See, I'm just
Because-
saying, like,
Because of that same
800?
reason. Like you take a hit and all your casual aches and pains disappear for a second. So people are like really addicted to that idea.
yeah, it makes sense.
Please, everyone, give me a click that dice button.
I don't know. I was gonna distribute my daily life potions.
Oh, you should do that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing
I mean, rather than doing it every individual day, like we can just like declare, hey, one to everybody, and then
well, I
when
made
it is
9
relevant,
because we
we-
don't have a lot of in the fight type healing, right? Or out of the fight
Phew.
something healing. Yeah.
You want me to help you get those into everybody else's hands?
Yeah, and I have just a normal healing potion too, so.
I mean, I guess just throw it into the party stash, and then we party stash it to ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, out of combat healing is like kind of sort of hand waveable as long as we have access to first aid checks. Because if we don't have a
Well-
time limit, then
It takes us a pretty significant amount of time right now.
Well, and
yeah. But if it's
distributing
if
the
we're-
elixirs of life is an in combat healing. So
that's true. If we're talking about in-combat healing, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I have one
Oh.
of the little ones. I was gonna
Oops.
keep that little one.
Sorry, I'm
Thank
putting it
you.
Well, why are they both minor?
Because I was gonna keep one and he stole it from me.
I'm putting it back. It's
I
transferring.
wonder if I can drag it like that.
Yeah, but that should be.
Oh my
3,
God,
3, and
I
2
can!
Someone.
Ha! I don't
Ah.
have to have my character sheet open.
Oh yeah, but just drop it on your token.
Not even on your token. You can drop it on like
On the sheet?
your icon on the side on the sheet on the same
Yeah.
sheet. Yeah.
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 That's how I've been doing
Fuck!
stuff.
Am I the only one that didn't know?
I guess.
Shit.
How do you move things?
You
'Cause
see
I
your
probably didn't know it either.
open up the stash
Yeah, I've got it open.
and drag it. You don't have to drag it onto your token. You don't have to drag it onto your sheet. You can just drag it onto your little Lycaena tab.
Oh, that's nice. I like
Okay,
it.
I'm not the only one. I'm happy
Yeah.
about that.
I really would not like be too proud of being better with this system than I am.
I'm not
Yeah,
proud of
true.
being better. I'm proud of not being the only one that apparently sucks at it.
I definitely suck at it. We can have we suck at it solidarity.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, there's still 4 of those in the party stash, but
I grabbed 2. Was I supposed to take more than that?
so 2 people can have 3 and 2 people could have 2. I have one of the minor ones that
I
disappears.
think
and
I
then
should
an
stick with 2
actual
because
one.
I do have my own healing.
Yeah, I was just saying that
Yeah.
people who probably don't have their own healing should grab 3.
So that's
And the
pretty
other people
much
should grab
Khali and Teriani. Because
Yeah.
Khali's going to be, or Kirrik. Oh my gosh, Kirrik is going to be healing by violence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
so
like,
I-
just start deciding to heal sometimes.
I don't have my own healing. I take it from others.
He drinks their
Yeah,
life.
Okay, there's one more in there then for whoever
I mean,
needs
remember
it.
that one time you took a rock to the back of the head and shrugged it off?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I do have my own healing.
I'm giving this to
1d8 for
Kirrik.
action.
I'm giving this to Kirrik in case he forgets that he needs it.
yeah, I feel like we should have one. I feel like everyone should have one on them because if Kirrik does go down, someone's gonna want to be able to pour one down his throat.
I mean, I took 2, so
Well, now you got 3.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
I've
so
been
everyone's stocked up on healing
distributed.
potions.
You've entered the forest. You're still adventuring. I don't have a map for this.
Well, that means we're probably not going to fight at least.
I told you there was no combat in this whole campaign.
I
Right.
don't believe you.
It sounds like eventually there's going to be a combat, unless, we just don't kick this guy's ass.
We could try to just talk him down. I mean, that's what Lycaena's going to want to try. But
oh, I didn't like to talk.
she hates talking, but she doesn't like attacking people if she hasn't at least tried. She doesn't hate talking. She just doesn't like talking when she thinks it's how to put this. She does not do small talk. She feels very important for religious reasons that she only speaks when absolutely necessary.
She probably doesn't like Khali then, because Khali does nothing but talk.
Well, no, she just doesn't like to speak herself. She doesn't mind being spoken to.
She doesn't love being spoken to, but she'll put up with it.
Right,
I think she probably views Khali with a little bit like, aren't you cute? Like, she doesn't have, like, And I don't imagine the black butterfly is big on converting other people, so it's not like she's trying to convince anyone else to join her in her like silent meditative way of life.
Moving around in the forest, as you're following the directions to the Aiudara, sounds begin to seem more and more muffled. And even though it is not an oppressively overbearing forest, the light here begins to feel more and more dim. And even though you are traveling during the day, it seems to be shrouded in this kind of like thick, almost tangible cloud of twilight. And I will, without any more context, let me just activate this and have everyone roll initiative.
Before we leap into initiative, are we ending at 7?
We're gonna end at 7. Yeah, this shouldn't take long.
Okay.
I popped up my encounter tracker, but there's nothing in it. I just have to open my character sheet and click that initiative button.
So that should yeah, I didn't put you in it. Bye, Rachel.
I'll be right back. I'm trying to get the chicken in the Instant Pot.
Instant chicken.
I'm multitasking.
Chicken skin?
No, it's not done, but like I would like us to eat at some point, and it'd be nice to get this cooked before. If I start it now, by the time game is over, we'll have one of the ingredients of dinner will be finished.
So as you are walking south in, like relatively unassuming part of the forest, you are attacked by shadowy, dark creatures who are, hiding in the underbrush and foliage as you pass by.
Gasp.
You guys are heading south if you guys want to fix marching order.
Lycaena would be in defensive mode.
I play Lycaena face down in defense.
Well, my initiative sucks. Why am I?
Yeah, and also up front.
Up there.
All right, well, I'm putting Lycaena front and center. So I want atmosphere, I want combat, and I want forest combat. Begin encounter. A creature. You only see it for an instant before it vanishes.
What kind of dog is that?
That dog don't bite. You see this shadowy, bestial, hound-looking creature, and where its eyes should be are these big, bulbous cavities emanating darkness and smoke.
Can I put that on?
His teeth are immaculate, but his eyes have cavities? Holy fuck.
He has not brushed his eyes in a long while.
Can I put that on?
What's the dog doing?
It looks as if he's leaping in your direction, but it vanishes, and you see it creeping out of Kirrik's shadow right next to him. So
And out edge me.
yeah, so he jumps forward and vanishes and like melts into the ground and leaps out of Kirrik's shadow, and then turns to bite, not at you, but at your shadow.
Oh,
Which will prompt a fort save.
it's going to eat your shadow.
That's mine.
Can't have that.
Are you using it though?
Yes.
Maybe a little.
You can't be edgy without a shadow.
I think you can be.
No. And then
you,
some doom and gloom motherfucker showed up and not had a shadow.
you are filled with this wincing pain that does no damage to you, but you believe that's because you are just the toughest guy, and shrug it off. And now it's your turn.
And that dog.
Actually, no, it wouldn't matter.
Oh no.
Shift imminence to switch to my weapon icon. Attack the doll.
Shift M. So I gotta check. Attack that dog. 17 to hits, 14 damage is successful. Yeah, it is definitely a corporeal thing.
Well, then I guess I will just attack the dog.
Something's wrong.
You fucking missed.
And you missed.
Alright, that's it.
The next thing to go is another dog.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be really amused if we TPK in this like easy fight.
That's the plan. It is going to do the same thing where it leaps into darkness and jumps out of Khali's shadow and turns and tries to bite hers, which calls for a fort save. Ooh, violence.
Oh, I can shift evidence for free when I roll initiative. That's good to know.
It's good to know. So the pain and piercing is as it bites into your shadow and takes like a part of your soul away. It's gonna deal 8 damage, and it is going to bolster itself and appear to be gaining, temporary hit points. So that's fun.
Kirik's like, hey, that's my move.
Yeah, fuck.
And
Mine
that's,
gives me real hit points.
now it's Khali's turn.
Where are my actions menu?
Oh.
Can I try my magical ability?
Maybe?
It says it'll knock it back if it works, and I kind of don't want this next to me.
Oh, you're talking about your deviant ability?
Yeah.
Ooh, fun. So Titan Swing. Make a melee strike. If it hits, you deal extra die of weapon damage. So the first thing you're going to have to do is activate it, which is
toggle it with the tech, yeah.
well, that's going to be this. So you got to hit that DC 5 flat check.
Okay.
That's a success.
Now what?
Yeah, now what? So on your turn on Titan Swing, and then unarmed attack strike.
Strike. Roll.
Does a hit.
Click.
Oh man, you've used your deviant ability.
Wow.
So I don't know if any of you have seen Khali activate her troll powers. If you want to talk about what happens.
Khali backhands it. Bad dog.
Oh, he's actually small as fuck.
Yeah, just her bones creak, and as this horrible physical mutation manifests, and you think, oh yeah, a cat, it's gonna have this like cool, graceful cat scratch or whatever, but no, she just bludgeons this dog with.
I don't like dogs biting me.
And then just as fast as her arm grew into this whole bony monstrosity, it just kind of like unrealistically like slivers back into her arms. Cool, that was one action.
Yeah, that's one action. I have a sheath equipped, I have a sling equipped. Well, I'm gonna shoot it since it's not right next to me. Wait, I have 3 actions.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Like,
Welcome
wait a
to
minute.
Pathfinder.
I'm used to things taking lots of actions. Let's miss this entirely when it's right in front of me.
How could you miss? He was 3 feet in front of you.
I got a -4.
Wow, nice. You owe me a better roll. All right,
It's really good that you can't harm other people when you critically miss in this game.
Yeah, and you could. Where's my
'Cause
critical
that
hit?
could-
Where's
that
my
could be a
Where's my critical
that could
fumble
be a
deck?
Ricochets.
None of that. We don't need that.
classic critical fumble moment.
It's like the most critical fumble of all critical fumbles.
Yeah, all right. Lycaena, not 10 feet into this map, you've been ambushed by weird shadow dogs. And it is your turn.
Yes, I am moving to be next to the weird shadow dog.
Ah, the dog is going to interrupt.
Oh no.
Ooh.
It has an attack of opportunity. What? That never happens.
Crack. I know.
He bites at
Alright.
you with a
Ow.
24 to hit and manages to tear flesh for 8
Your
damage.
shadow?
No, this is a physical bite. He bites you normal.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be. In that case, I will still do what I was gonna do anyway, which is strike at it. Or take damage. Like that.
I'm going to build a custom condition that is used their reaction.
I will strike at it. And
TPK!
then I will, yeah, seriously. And then I will raise my shield.
Alright, the good initiative roll. Teriani.
I think the fastest path to helping Lycaena out is hopefully killing that. So I will do all the things that I do. Where's my spells? Hope this works out the way I want it to. Is I will cast Nudge Fate on Kirrik. And am I able to... I can't select Kirrik. And my familiar, which is apparently not on the... Oh, it's down there. I left it behind. My familiar will do its balance luck thing and give the balance luck effect to Lycaena for a +1 to your AC. I don't have permission for that.
I do.
Here, let's do that for you. And then I'm going to send needle darts in front. I'm going to try to impale the back of this dog's head with needle darts. It's off of my cold iron,
Nice.
because why not?
Here's hoping it works.
It hits.
It hits.
Damage?
You gotta hit the damage button. Ooh, look at them. 3d4 needle darts.
It's still alive?
Nope, because it didn't automate. He takes an additional weakness to cold iron damage.
Damn.
That's weird. I thought I hit cold iron.
It may not have did it.
So let's try damage now. There it goes. Has the cold iron trait now.
What'd you
Okay,
do?
that's weird. I must have just clicked on the wrong thing without thinking about it.
Well,
I was just testing that.
What a good entire turn.
Yep, I killed that thing. Kirrik has the nudge. Fate. Lycaena has the AC. I've done so much.
What a good luck charm. Round 2, Kirrik.
I attack a dog.
Well, it's not next to you
There's
anymore.
still a dog to attack.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's a dog, not the dog.
Yeah, you have to move to it at least.
Oof.
Oh no, his reaction's already used.
Attack. Miss. Dang.
Does the +1 make that a hit?
No.
Let's go for a secondary attack.
That hits. Ooh, wow.
Oh,
Wow. That hurts.
These guys have some beef on them, so it's not enough. Plus, this is the one that got some 10 hit points. So I believe you're done.
Yeah.
Kirrik, you're the scariest guy on the planet. It is going to first make a normal bite against you, which hits a 24. Six damage.
Ouch.
It is going to try and make a shadow bite against you, which will call for a fort save.
No.
And you're fine. Its last action, it is going to envelop itself in the shadowy dimness, and kind of blends somewhat with the shadows, and attempt to hide. Let's see if that works. I can find the hide button. These are alphabetized. You guys are all going to need to check your perception DCs. It got a 24.
That beats mine.
What is the perception DC?
That's a critical success against me. Your perception's like your number plus 10.
Oh yeah.
It
don't
probably beats most of us.
I don't think hide has a crit success condition.
My
No,
number
it
plus
does not.
what?
10.
So you look at your sheet, and then
Oh, like the
you've got
bonus and then plus 10?
Yeah.
4. Okay. Yeah, that beats mine.
So if he succeeded or critically succeeded, he is hidden from you. You can use a seek action to overcome that. With him being hidden, he has there's a flat check that you miss. And now it's Khali's turn.
Oh, okay. I can attempt to seek him.
Oh wait, it's not your turn just yet.
Oh, okay.
He bleeds out from spirit damage. Yeah, so if you wanted to get rid of that flat check, you can use an action to make a perception check. You don't need to beat his 24. You need to beat his stealth DC, which is as if he had rolled a 10.
Mm. So I do the thingy that says seek.
Yep.
Okay, click. Oh,
Well, you critically succeeded.
cool. Can I shoot it now?
Yeah.
No. I still have one more action, right? I only went twice.
You can do a third thing.
Okay. Oh, wait. I will keep attempting to hit it with all of my rocks available.
That hits.
That is a rock.
Successful rock.
Rock and stone.
Okay, minor.
rock
Hey!
and stone, brother. For Carl.
Well, I definitely need to turn that on off because he needs not those conditions.
Yeah, they're very colorful when they do that too. I turned it off in my last game at some point.
Yeah, I just turned it on for everybody by default. I just want them. I need to script it so that they become objects. Yeah, there don't appear to be any more of these shadow creatures that lay in ambush or await. So you guys can, reconvene in what happened.
Cool. No, that was
Anyone know what those things were?
I would love
reacted
to
to
find
the,
out what those things were.
They react to the cold iron, right? So we know they're loose fey.
They were all shadowy, so I assumed they were the shadowy fey creatures people are talking about.
Yeah, go ahead and target one and roll recall knowledge.
What kind of recall knowledge would this be?
It'll do it automatically.
Yeah, if you use that fancy macro, that's all in one, and you use recall knowledge, it just says, "Hey, you did something."
It doesn't put anything in the chat, which is terrible.
Yeah, you get a little pop up towards the top.
Kirrik didn't target him. No, he did. No, he didn't. Everybody else targeted him.
If it's like at a specific kind of recall
Oh, I
knowledge,
said
I get
target.
bonuses.
Somehow Rachel rolled from the creature, and so did Sarah.
You told me to target it.
Yeah, I know, but you also somehow it rolled as if you.
That's what
were
I did.
them.
I targeted it, and then that's.
I don't know. Yeah, somehow Rachel and Sarah.
I targeted it, and I did not re-click on my character when I went to the macros.
But it's cool that you have the power to make recall knowledge checks as NPCs, though. That's TIL.
I was wondering what stuff wasn't glowing. Okay, should I roll again?
Yes.
Oh goodness, things are glowing and now I can't find anything. There it is.
So Teriani, you do not have confidence in what it is.
I think I might have hit that twice, but it's fine.
Neither does Kirrik. but Lycaena and Khali do. This is a fey creature known as a Timagir. They are a type of Gorga.
Cool.
What is a Gorga?
Gorgas. Gorgas are a fey embodiment of diurnal creatures' fear of the dark. They are beings of shadow and hunger, and they particularly enjoy preying on creatures that are afraid of the dark. There are many different kinds of Gorgas, and they each embody different facets of the night's countless terrors.
Well, that seems antithetical to my deity, so okay, good to know.
Bad guy knights? No, not into it.
Darkness should not be a place of fear.
Well, hopefully there are not more terrible things happening deeper in the Widewood. Welcome to Gatewalkers.
We bong some dogs.
Bonk to them dogs.
We bonk some dogs.
Bonk.
You promised no combat, remember?
I didn't promise no combat. So we'll patch up and continue investigating next week, and then we'll take a 2-week break.
A long break.
You guys are all halfway to level 2 now.
Level 2 is probably where I take the sentinel feat and try not to be a squishy boy.
Squeeze.
Level 2 is where I take multilingual.
Level 2 is where I do something.
It's also a class feat, which I was thinking about taking either a conceal spell or something.
Planning your characters out.
How dare I plan?
What a good plan.
I'm really bad at planning characters.
That's
Not
true.
bad at it. I don't particularly enjoy having to plan characters out. I dislike that the system wants you to do that.
You can just kind of like ad hoc the character together and it'll be pretty much functional.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
what system doesn't want you to plan your characters out? Any system that has progression, you're gonna make a plan.
Well, yeah, but because it's level based, and you don't have complete control over how your character develops in ways, you're obligated to follow certain paths based on the class system.
I mean, I guess that's kind of fair, but that's still not necessarily true because, in terms of the choices that you make, you
The
can
choices
deviate
that
from
you
your
make
class.
are fundamentally constrained by the class system. And in PF2, less than so in PF1, you can screw yourself over if you don't make the right choice at 3rd level by the time you get to 5th.
You only screw yourself over in terms of being not optimal. I don't think being not optimal is screwing yourself over. And you can like take multi-classes and stuff. Like it's definitely more restrictive, but having played anything where you progress to gain abilities, you're still going to end up planning. Like maybe I can take any of the abilities available at any time, but I'm still going to take them in a certain order that I think is more.
Some choices are more prescriptive than others.
Yeah, I just don't like how prescriptive class and level based systems are. That's all.
Gotta love my perks, my skill trees. Right, I guess I need to go deal with life shenanigans.
Oh no.
That was fun.
Well,
Was it? There was a little bit of an investigation.
We did some investigating. We did some bonking. It's a healthy
way
balance.
too much time figuring, like, getting the thing on the thing.
I was worried about how much ground we were going to cover, and I said I don't need to worry about this. We're going to try and figure out how to get into that stupid plaza for 4 hours, and I was correct.
You should have known.
I did. I realized it, and I was like, I don't need to get in the
When
way
I
with
was playing in Years ago, when I was playing in a Shadowrun game with a oddly indecisive group of people, somebody finally brought in a fucking egg timer.
I used to
So
do
the
that for
egg timer
combat.
went off. Whatever plan we had, we moved forward with.
I like how the solution for this, though, was ended up with Khali going YOLO.
I mean, I was getting kind of impatient.
No,
I mean, a
I
big
thought
part
it
of
was perfectly reasonable for
We-
Khali to go YOLO.
we acted right when it became time to act.
Khali was
Yeah, I
like,
thought it was
tired
totally
of
reasonable.
this.
a big part of
That's
it is
okay,
just
like-
knowing that we can't like permanently fuck ourselves. I think that's where a
Yeah.
lot of like
I
hesitation
mean,
comes from.
I
Is, like,
think the
can we just run
hesitation
in
came
here?
from because we thought it was higher stakes than it was.
Yeah. Also,
Wait.
I mean, Pathfinder can be that way because it's like, well, do I want to go through this doorway because there might be a player level +3 encounter behind that door, and then I'm fucked.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
the
if we
I
walk
think
into
in general, players are, and this may just be my personal experience, are more hesitant than they often need to be.
well,
But I think it
I
can also be very hard as a player to judge the consequences of something before you do it.
yeah,
And
I
it
think
has to
I
be,
think
'cause
more
sometimes
than they
you gotta
need
do a
to be.
diorama. Like,
Yeah, I think more than they need to be is only apparent if you know that they don't need to be. Because yeah, sometimes
Right,
you walk
and
into
I
a room
think-
and die from a diorama.
Right, exactly. Sometimes diorama kills you.
That wasn't funny.
Well, no, not at the time.
It was pretty funny.
it's kinda
There's a
funny.
certain amount of amusement factor.
Does anybody know Draconic? I'm still trying to figure out my second
Oh,
language.
no, Draconic.
God damn it. I'm trying to avoid overlap, but all the things that make sense.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was trying to do too, because I got like 4 extra languages.
I mean, I'm gonna be taking multilingual, and apparently I'm not grabbing Aklo because Lycaena has it.
It's okay if more than one person can speak the language, guys.
Yeah, but
But we
I
want
still
to cover our
We gotta
bases.
have a situation where Kirrik is the only one that speaks the language. It has to be the front man.
you also want to make sure you're covering your bases.
No, I do agree. I picked Aklo and Hallett because they were both recommended languages.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Aklo's and all right, you got a free multilingual, so you got the uncommon languages.
Well, Hallett's not uncommon. It's a regional language. It's not uncommon.
Yeah. It's the northern language.
But
Is it Hallett?
yeah,
I always thought
but,
it was
like,
Halit.
Fucking, I don't want to think about it anymore. I'm taking
Yeah.
Draconic. We're done.
Okay.
that's
I
fine.
shoot
take
laser
Draconic.
beams from my eyes because I have Draconic fucking deviant points.
Then Draconic makes sense.
I can't wait for you to start shooting lasers from your eyes. They're not,
I'm
even
waiting
from,
until
Yeah,
something.
when are you-
they're not from your eyes yet.
I'm waiting until something makes me real mad. I guess that's true. They're not from my hands yet.
But so far, Khali's the only one who is in this reality manifested a deviant ability.
Khali backhanded a wolf. Is it bitter?
Uh,
Well, not a
no,
wolf,
it's-
but
I think we should rephrase that. Callie's the only one who successfully manifested her deviant ability.
In this reality.
In this reality, yeah.
Yeah, you did somewhere, just not,
So,
not
in,
here.
in some other reality,
You rolled it
Lycaena.
back, remember?
All right, well, goodbye. I gotta find an icon for your spider ability.
I will see you guys later. It was fun.
Boy.
Hey.
Twist Fate or whatever it's called. Goofy Blessing. Familiar Balance Luck.
Nudge fate, balance luck.
Yeah, because the status is gross.
Yeah.
I'll find some things. Goodbye.
Well, I mean, you can find like a good luck symbol for the for the +1 and a bad luck symbol for the -1.
That's a great idea. It's got to be the same symbol. Maybe it doesn't.
Hmm.
Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe there's like art somewhere where like it looks like a skull one way and it looks like I don't know.
Oh, it's like you
anything
flip it
the other
upside
way.
down and it's
Yeah.
an optical illusion.
That would be really cool and fit the theme of the ability. I sincerely doubt that there's a thing for that already.
I could probably make that happen. In the effect. And then details, rules, choices, +1. Yeah, I could make that happen.
Oh.
Maybe not. Okay, bye.
Okay.